Hello, everybody!
Too much energy, Kevin. Too much.
Too much? Oh shit!
A little bit. Just a little much.
No, it's not enough.
When you start spluttering as you're screaming, that's when you know you've gone a bit too much.
All right, I'll just go full on Ted Lasso. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to episode 47 of Beyond the Realms. I hope you're all having a fantabulous fucking great day. I thought my life was on fire for the last 2 hours of this day because I was going to premiere a really fun Dungeon Alchemist map for everyone to play with and for all of you fine, awesome, lovely people to enjoy. Dungeon Alchemist being this amazing AI, like smart generating map program that I've been posting about for a long, long time, and I have access to their beta finally. And I know a ton of you have seen my post about it, asked me about it all the time on Dicecream Sandwich socials and all that. And I was like gonna surprise the players and surprise you for whatever reason. The invite link to get everyone into the program just would not work. Locally was fine, but for some reason I couldn't work out the bugs in time before it got way too late, and I let everyone down. So, we're here.
You said
everything's fine.
Oh, shush. No, you did not. Don't even start with me.
I know. I just get really excited.
We will fight you. Stop it.
You might fight me later.
We
so
might.
Yeah, Kevin.
But yeah, thank you all guys so much for waiting for us. Sorry we're a little late today, but hello, welcome. Here's your Monday lovely placebo pill of joyness for you to all to have and ingest and get in there. Anyway, I love you all. Sorry, I'm a little off today. But anyone out there who might not be having a great day out there, I hope you are well. I hope you are doing. You're gonna be fine. And today is the day. The next 4 hours are gonna help you get through it. We're gonna go through this shit together, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna forget our troubles for the next 4 fucking hours and play some amazing D&D. All right.
Kevin, you say this as you're about to kill us in game. Like, we're gonna get through this together. By the way, roll a death saving throw. We're gonna get it together.
Okay.
Stop! You just made me snort up coke through my nose.
Don't worry, staff. We'll get through this together.
That's illegal.
Cat's out of the bag. The whole map was an Avernus map, and now you're just gonna have to settle for 2D coolness. Look at the kitten! The kitten will make everything better.
Where? Oh, hi.
All right, I'm loving the chaotic energy, everybody. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Long and short of it, I do really appreciate it. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as well, because we've got our second session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, our amazing Feywild campaign that we just started that a lot of you have been turning up for and continue to support online, and we cannot thank you enough. So come on down tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel with Quincy's Tavern, Jennings Brower, Shane Wally, and Jack Elena Chan for all that Feywild goodness. But tonight is about our Feywild goodness as we crack the knuckles, get your favorite drink, get your snacks, get your dice. I love you all very much, and let us sit back and enjoy tonight's session of Beyond the Realms. Oh yeah. Okay. Last we left off, the party having just gone through quite a bit of a transformative process, being in the domain of delight infinity. Some people excavating symbiotes, dark gifts that they had inside of themselves for quite some time. That being, of course, of Sir Strange and freshly discovered Mr. Fiend, now knowing that these deadly symbiote oozing monstrosities have the ability to infect your fellow party members. And with Sir Strange getting this dark gift from Gloomwing all that time ago, finally was able to excavate that dark energy from themselves and take on a brighter meaning in life, getting rid of all the dark pain and trauma from their past life, kind of forced into the symbiote, taking on a new lease on life. And with Mr. Fiend realizing a dark red scar across her chest when, from a previous fight that him and Sir Strange had, realized that that symbiote had infected his body as well, but was also, after a sort of brief conversation of your head of this light-toned, giggling maniac, was trying to convince you to kind of turn against your friends or at least go more into the dark side. And you were also able to get that symbiote out of your system with a hefty self-fireball to your chest, essentially almost knocking yourself out, potentially killing you, but not before Rhaenyra bravely went through wave after wave of infernal blasts to put their hands on your shoulders, give you some encouraging words, and hold you unconscious in their arms. Finally, all these dark gifts free from the party. You spent the night in this untamed, like, first edition born of the Feywild itself, untamed, and you all had some very interesting dreams when you spent that first long rest in the Dome of Delight Infinity. Some of you were subject to some Fey pranks from some local pixies that just fucked with you a little bit. Others got some Fey marks from being in this unfiltered version of the Feywild. Some of your hair grew to crazy amounts of sizes and shapes like Albert Einstein. Some of you grew 2 feet shorter. Others thought that they had been in this Feywild for 10 long years.
Lived a whole nother life.
A whole nother life. That of Mr. Fiend, who through epically failing his Constitution saving throw, critting, rolled on the table of the Fey pranks and got the lived on for 10 years inside of this realm. Woke up one day, the friends were gone, the party was gone, and through almost like a Feywild cocaine trip magic, you were able to almost deal with your own problems, your own demons through this very self-induced form of therapy almost. The first couple of years, you were just so angry and frustrated and banged your head against the wall, but through sheer just lack of choices, you just had to kind of accept what had happened to you, and you were kind of able to kind of let go of your anger, let go of the people from your past that had caused you so much pain, and you kind of came to this harmonious balance within yourself. But then as the 10th year passed, Mr. Fiend awoke and was back to where he had originally started, with his friends, his family surrounding him. Not so sure it was them at first, kind of second guessing, a la Robin Williams Jumanji kind of style, just referencing these random pixie friends that no one had ever heard about with ridiculous names like Dewdrop and so on and so forth. But after spending a full night in the Feywild, I believe Mr. Fiend asked the Tree of Infinity, the Monarch, what you could do to gain a weapon that could rival that of Odin's spear, the King of Asgard, that is currently under their employ, I believe. But some shady dealings have come out recently that the relationship between the Asgardians and the Fae is dark at best, and a plan may be in the works for Asgard to take back the Fae for their own vested interest. So with all this in mind, the Tree of Infinity told you there's only a certain amount of relics that can rival that spear and on that god tier level and past it. And that is, of course, of the Titan Relics, referring to the divine war way back when the Asgardians and the Fae went head to head with Titans involved in a catastrophic event. She then told you that there's one person who's pursuing these relics, and that is of Gloomwing himself. Of course, our BBEG Aarakocra war mage big boy that you had followed in the Feywild all that time ago, and also recently discovered through the magic of the Tree of Infinity, shifting the eyes a bit out of the dilapidated head of Sam, the decapitated head of Sam, oh my God, revealing a hologram coming out of Sam's eyes, revealing a conversation that you were not privy to between Gloomwing and Sam, revealing that he was in fact the one that convinced Sam to join up with the Tree of Infinity itself, that incited the incident that made Sam go kind of dark, and that battle that came up between you two not that long ago. Long story short, Gloomwing is after Titan Relics, and it is not fucking good. Knowing all this, you decided what your next destination would be here in the Feywild, what moves you wanted to make. You know where Gloomwing was headed, as you figured out that map that you obtained not that long ago, that it was heading to a certain temple, Magister Yama's temple near a little town called Laupo, near Mithrandane, the Autumn City, that where the Oak Lord reigns, the recently discovered father of Sir Strange. Asking the Tree of Infinity to help you along to the Autumn City, she then used her power to transport you to the Fall Court. And as you traipsed through a sort of a waterfall in the area, as the sort of feeling of water was rushing past your legs, that liquid feeling against your skin quickly turned to hundreds of dry leaves adorned in brown and golden colors. You arrived in this small, very deserted farmland with only a few little cottages and houses spread over a large plot. But the area seems unsettling. Thus being now getting into dusk nighttime, you kind of pervade the area and noticed a little displacer kitten bouncing around a wooden fence, but had two heads on top of its body. Looking at the farmland itself, it was very mutated and gross and kind of rotten to the core. Some of you able to pervade the area and notice some undead humanoid things walking around in the forest tree line. But seeing that one of the cottages has a bright little light inside of the window, you rushed over as rain started to pour to get cover, and thus meeting a local Eladrin, an elderly Eladrin named Zavia, an old shrunken old woman with kind of tumor-ridden skin, had a couple extra fingers on their hand, looked like they had seen better days, but with their giant mastiff Grisham to protect her, welcomed you inside to get cover from the rain and had a bit of a conversation back and forth, was able to give you a bit of context on the land, the relationship it has to the Oak Lord, and where this temple could possibly be located. And also let you know that Gloomwing himself had been by in the last couple days looking for said temple. With all that out of the way, talking to this woman, Sir Strange having conversations of her, reciting if maybe how things were back when he was a small boy, Farrell took it upon herself to leave this sort of farm cottage of sorts and get a better surveying of the area. This is where you discovered multiple undead aberrations kind of in the forest nearby. And upon knowing a certain location, Golsham's farm, that of an individual who would be able to direct you to where this temple is located, you took your magical sight over to the farm to scan if there were any Fey signatures in that particular location, and there were none. And this, everyone, is where we pick up our session today. As Farrell is behind the farm, hands in the dirt to get a better connection with the surrounding area, looking around, you saw those faint signatures off in the forest tree line. No Fey signatures off in Golsham's farm, which you can kind of see. It's like a far ways off, but like within the rolling hills, it's, within earshot.
Within radar.
Within your 3-mile radius radar.
Yes.
But with all that out of the way, everyone, my lovely, amazing Frostbreakers, what would you like to do?
This is the part where we're leaving the house. We're like, okay, bye, Mrs. So-and-so. Thanks so much for the tea. Yeah, no, we'll stop by again later. Dad, what are you doing?
Why are we talking like this?
That was my unassuming adventure character, Jade. Oh, wait, hang on. Thank you so much. We won't be seeing you, but thank you. Shuts the door behind us. Where's Farrell?
Doing gardening, I think.
Yeah, I said something about carrots.
He's just hands in the dirt.
Well, no, okay. So the way that she's sitting is cross-legged, where her hands are just in the earth, like off to her sides. So she's like just sitting there cross-legged in the dirt, which is something you've never seen from Feral. I think
new. Feral's gone to touch some grass.
Touching grass in the Feywild never goes well.
It's always about the shrooms. It's always about the shrooms.
It is.
Okay.
Running around here.
No,
I'm ready. I think Feral's back's probably to you. Like she's just sitting there cross-legged, hands in the earth, just like very focused. Her eyes are actually completely white at the moment. There's no pupils in her eyes.
Oh. I'm going tick, 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 over to Feral, but I'm not going to like touch you or anything. She does do one of these crisp, not sure if she can see you kind of thing. Feral, how are the carrots?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Okay, what are you doing? You're like wrist deep right now.
Right. I know. And with that, she's gonna kind of like blink a little bit, let her eyes come back to normal, and pull her.
She tries not to frown as that happens. She's like,
the eyes kind of like blink back to her normal crescent moons in her eyes instead as she pulls her hands to the earth, wipes them off. Right. I was looking for Faye. By the way, there's nobody at the house. They're probably dead.
Oh. But in this house?
No, in the other one that we were supposed to go to.
Oh, the farmer.
Yeah, there's someone there. At least not that I can tell. It might be worth stopping and checking, but there's nothing there.
Were you able to figure out if there were heartbeats or just Fae?
Well, I don't know. I've never used the spell before, let alone do I know how Fae work. But...
Right.
There's a bunch over this way, and she'll gesture in the direction of where she saw like the mass amount of just Fae energy. There's a lot over that way. There's some over here, and I just don't see anything in that house.
Yeah, and as you can recall, the massive signature of Fae, of course, coming from the Autumn City, Mithrindain, that's fairly far away. You can just sort of begin to see the outskirts of the city over the roaming hills, very far off in the distance, where you saw a couple of glowing orbs, sort of outlining the city limits. That's where the most Fae energy was coming from. You then looked around for any Fae undead fiends, a couple undead faint signatures kind of roaming around in the tree line kind of around you. And then off to the Golsham's farm, specifically looking for Fae or undead, there was no signature at all.
Yeah. Right. I don't see anything.
Well, maybe we should go over to the farm.
I think we should still go, at least.
Expect a trap.
Expect maybe...
I have a way I might be able to see inside without us getting too close.
I mean, I'm fully expecting a body or something.
Once we get nearer, I have a spell.
Right. I'm gonna, because I kind of feel bad lying to this old woman. Farrell's gonna kind of turn and look and see if there's actually carrots, and if so, use Druidcraft to grow them.
Hey, so looking into the dirt, the sort of plot of farmland you're in, the rain kind of beating down, it's very just goopy and sloshy. But looking around, like any vegetation that's visible is clearly rotten, like grossly mildew, gray fur kind of mildew, like rotten in the back of the fridge for like 3 years, kind of rotten.
Ooh.
But you want to try to grow some positive,
Yeah, if I can. I want to try.
Okay. Make me a nature check.
I was going to say, this is something Farrell's actually never done. So that's why I'm like, this will be very interesting. I have to not use the DM dice.
The Arcana check, actually. You're using the cantrip Druidcraft, but I'm going to determine to see how well this is, because this land is clearly, you looking around, dead plants, the ground and the dirt itself is just kind of churned.
It's a natural 20. So 27.
God damn. Okay.
That's a new one. I don't think I've ever rolled one first time on stream.
Amazing.
Oh, shit.
Good job.
So you kind of take a minute.
For the picture if I need to. That was interesting.
You kind of take a minute to concentrate on your druid craft. The rest of you kind of see this light green sheen kind of emanate from Farrell's skin. It kind of goes down the forearms, past the wrists, into the fingers. And it's dark, obviously, so it's kind of hard to see any change in color. But you just see sort of the plot of wet dirt around here kind of sort of mound up a bit, and the mud kind of sink and change a little tiny bit. You start to see sprouts of green pop out of the dirt, and leaves start to bloom as you're trying to do carrots, yeah?
Yeah, she's trying to, because the old lady had mentioned that her carrots weren't growing, and so Farrell used it as an excuse to get outside. I was like, yeah, I'll go look at the carrots for you. Yeah, huh?
So you put your hand in the dirt, the green light hits, those vines start coming out of the dirt, the leaves sprout out, and various stalks of carrots just start spouting out of the wet dirt. All the roots still connected at the very bottom, but you have around you like a pretty good amount of carrots, all various sizes, all various shapes, mostly cylindrical, obviously, but some are a little bent, some are perfectly straight, but all look really, really good. And as you kind of start to rip them out of the ground, you probably got a good 7 or 10 of them.
Saf, you had your hand raised. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm sorry. I was imitating the carrots. He was so
okay. I just wanted to make sure. I want to make sure I didn't say something. But Farrell's kind of standing there and starts giggling a little bit because that's something she's not done since she was a child, was garden. So she giggles a little bit. You know, this little old lady is going to just be baffled as all hell. These are. Also, she's gonna be eating carrots a while. I feel I may have overdone it just a tad. I'm not quite used to the gardening thing.
Only trying to grow carrots? Just looking at the rest of it.
Well, I was not trying to get just carrots. I just happened to get just carrots. That's, you know what? It's not like I see you garden.
So that house, we should get it going.
Yes.
Leave quickly and without another word.
Yeah. Just
Terrible.
She gives Strange a thumbs up for supporting her decision.
Yeah, it's great. Ooh.
To the farm, then.
Yes.
The farm.
Just try not to get too close.
Okay. So you just kind of drop off the carrots, just kind of on the front porch kind of thing?
Yeah, she'll kind of knock a little bit, give him a little rap at the door. Carrots! I know.
Oh, God damn, Grisham, just come.
Okay. All right, come on. Come on.
Quick like a bunny.
Before the crony starts telling you another one of her never-ending stories.
God, I wanted this place to be kitten. I don't need the dog.
All right, so as
I don't know. I thought it was kind of cute.
All right, so as you kind of put down the carrots on the porch there, and kind of just quickly make your departure before she opens the door and gets you into another 20-minute conversation, start to head over to Gulsham's farm. This being the closest in proximity to the temple, as she had so said last session. So you kind of make your way through this sort of gated path. It's kind of trotting up and down through the hills. It takes you probably good 15, 20 minutes to kind of walk over there. And as you're walking through this area, these two locations are fairly far apart, but the area just feels uneasy. There's this kind of opaque rolling fog that's kind of going down low to the ground near your feet. It's kind of just seemingly to be coming from this very more dense, thicker tree line kind of in the background past Gulsham's farm. And you look around and you're just kind of looking at all the dirt, and it's all churned and rotten and disgusting. Any bugs or any wildlife that you see just looks off. You see a couple of dead rabbits kind of off to the side with large chunks out of them that look like they've just been discarded on the side of the road for probably a good few weeks. Just various flies kind of flying around, wave them out of your face as you kind of trot through. But eventually, you do start to see the farm coming more into view.
All right.
And as you approach sort of the first sort of wooded gated area, you kind of spot something on the path, maybe just a few feet from this old wooden bridge that kind of connects this plot of land over to Gulsham's farm. Seems to be an overturned cart of some kind. Looks like its harness ties are broken. That's about it as far as you get closer.
Looks like something happened here.
We don't have to find the farmer, right?
I can find them from here.
But do we really need to?
Well, Xavier did say you were asking where the temple is located, and Xavier did mention that Gulsham had a particular a map, a way of finding the temple.
But we don't need him.
Not necessarily.
The map. Oh God, this was not how I was a couple months ago. She says that mostly to herself.
I remember when I was like that.
Sir Strange, you had your hand up?
So I wanted to try, because we walked over, so anything could have changed during that time we walked over, right? So I'm gonna use my divine sense, and let's see. Yeah. Until the end of my turn, I can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Watch up.
What? What?
You found a fiend.
Me.
I dislike you. I hate you.
Muhaha.
Muhaha.
Sort of starting to ping, turn on that sort of same radar that similarly that Farrell had as you pass by this overturned cart with various barrels and old bags of dried goods and wet goods kind of sopped in the rain. You kind of turn on that radar and just kind of give a good look around. And again, in the farm that you're just several feet away, nothing seeming to pinging in there. But again, you kind of look over into the tree line, sort of behind Gulsham's farm, where it's very dense and large, and kind of behind you through that thicket of forest that you came and entered through. You can just sort of sense and feel just faint, dark purple auras, just sort of slowly moving in various areas. Some a bit more brighter that are a bit closer to you, some more faint as they're farther away. But they don't take a form necessarily. They're not like you're just seeing silhouette, more like a heat radar of sorts. You just see kind of blobby color images, some kind of moving kind of slowly, some kind of moving at a different pace, and some moving fast and stopping. All various speeds and directions, of course.
Is there, given the way this trip has gone so far, odds that our dear friend is no longer among the land of the living?
Can find out for sure.
Why isn't everything, anything ever easy?
Tarek is going to cast Arcane Eye.
Arcane Eye. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Arcane Eye do again?
I will tell you. Arcane Eye. grab thing. Arcane Eye, you create an invisible magical eye within range that hovers in the air for the duration. The duration is up to an hour, but it's concentration. You mentally receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision and dark vision for 30 feet. The eye can look in every direction. As an action, you can move it 30 feet in any direction. There is no limit to how far away it can be. And you can move it, but you can't. It can't enter a different plane of existence. Solid barrier blocks its path. However, it can move through a space of 1 inch or larger.
Okay. So if you turn over to your Roll20 screens, your maps, I have an Arcane Eye right in front of you, Tarek, that you can control.
Lovely. It's so lovely.
It's just a big bowl of eyes.
Ew.
It's invisible, so we don't have to see it in game. Don't worry, guys.
This is the same thing that Kevin described as being a goopy, nasty pink eye when I cast this in the beginning.
I hate it.
And if
Don't
I
worry.
had to suffer, Benjamin, so should you.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so Tarek will cast that, and he'll just kind of move it over to this first building over here. Just over this way. I'm guessing there's like this building has like a front door to it.
Yeah, right here there's a door to it.
Okay. Does it look like, is it like an old kind of like rickety door that might have a space of 1 inch somewhere around its frame?
Space of 1 inch.
These ones
Well,
are
getting
the back of the door.
so as you're walking
I can
past
picture
as you're walking past the kind of overturned cart, and you pass by a sort of swarm of flies as they kind of pass, sort of fly into the air as all the overturned barrels and sacks of goods are just kind of look a bit rotten over to the side. Approaching that stone bridge over a small little river that's kind of careening through. You start to approach from the south side,
Mhm.
and you start to see the looming hulk of the barn first. And then you see
Right.
the rest of the farmstead beyond. Because remember, it is dark, so your vision is just a little bit dimmed than normal. A little patchwork of worked field and orchards in the shadow of the pine woods, cleared and maintained, supposedly. Great effort by Golshan, who's the farmstead here. So you can kind of see that even though a lot of the land is kind of mutated and overturned, this area seems to be pretty well kept and pretty well maintained for the most part. In contrast to Xavier's cottage, which was just like not very in good spirits at all. The barn, which I believe, the barn, which is sort of the first area that you're looking at there, is the biggest building. And it's the largest structure on site. It's constructed by sturdy wood planks. The doors you're at are large double doors, seemingly the only entrance to this part of the building. And it's not like the door itself isn't like old and rickety. Like there's not like just wooden panels and they're like split open. They're fairly sturdy. So as far as an inch, like, is there like this much space to get through? Make a perception check with the eye.
Will do. Ooh, that is a 15 on the die because I have +0.
15. So yeah, the barn door is fairly sturdy inside. But there is just like a little bit of wood down the bottom where from the rain and kind of weathered storm, there's just a bit of wood that kind of splintered open at the bottom there. Enough for about, it's kind of lifted off the ground a little bit and it's kind of splintered down this way. Probably enough for about just a little bit more than an inch to get through.
Let the eye slip under that. And is that you said it's the big of these two buildings here? It's the
biggest structure in there. You're pretty much looking at, you're seeing a barn, what looks like some sort of animal pen off to the side there. And then there's like a little farmhouse behind that, and a shed.
Right. So wait, is it just looking at the Roll20 map? Is it this building or this one?
Yeah. So this one would be the barn.
Ah, okay. Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
And this is looks like to be some sort of animal pen of some kind.
Ah. Okay.
And yeah.
Just let the eye sneak under the door.
Okay. Oh wait, no, sorry. Let me see. Oh, sorry, no, that's the farmhouse. And the barn is behind there off the map. But still, the door does have that little squeak on the front of it, so you'd be easy to slide the Arcane Eye through.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll sneak on under.
So going to the farmhouse, this single-story building, constructed of plain stone with a shingle roof and a door sort of made of iron-banded oak, but that kind of like splinters off at the end there. Most of the interior is a single common room dominated by a huge fireplace and hearth that serves as a kitchen stove. On either side of the fireplace are sideboard tables. On the left, the wider table, seemingly used for food preparation of some sort, holds a set of well-kept knives and cleavers. Above it, a pot rack hangs from a ceiling chain and features several heavy pans dangling from the iron hooks. There's a smaller table on the right, holds a large clay bowl. Looks like it was used for like washing, as well as the stack of wooden serving bowls used probably for dining by Gulshan and his farmhands. I'll just reveal this part to y'all.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So to one side of the fireplace, you see a string of black and greasy sausages hangs from a hook. In the middle of the room seems to be as a massive wooden dining table with 5 sturdy chairs arranged around it. One chair in particular kind of looks a bit different from the rest, a bit more sat in, a bit more well constructed at the head of the table. Larger than the rest, features rough carvings of oak branches and boars. I'm guessing you just kind of take the eye through like all the rooms inside.
Yeah. I'll have the eye kind of explore as much as it can, finding kind of spaces to go through if it can.
So past the main living room and sort of makeshift kitchen, you see Gulshan's bedroom, separated from the rest of the house by wooden walls and a heavy door. The bed is rough-hewn logs. His bed of rough-hewn logs and a nightstand with an oil lamp occupy one side, and a locked wooden chest containing something stands in the corner.
You almost told me. You almost told me what's in there.
At the end of the hallway outside his room, you see a large unlocked trunk. And yeah.
All right.
That's all you see in that room.
But no sign of a body.
No sign of a body.
Tarek will kind of regurgitate that information to everyone kind of as he's looking through the eye, kind of letting everyone know kind of what you can see inside the house about the chest and the trunk, and we'll kind of end it with the
coast is
there's no sign of a body still.
Right.
There's still the bond to check though.
Well, I don't think that's the issue. And having noticed a lot of flies hanging around this wagon, I'm
know,
gonna
probably
approach it.
super murdered.
That's fine. I'm going to walk over to it.
Never go to a second location. Never.
To the wagon that's overturned.
Yep.
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
Yep. Since there was a whole bunch of flies and everything else. 25.
This is level 15.
Feral stats aren't even that good. I'm just rolling well enough at the moment. Watch, later when it matters, it's going to screw me entirely.
Oh yeah.
So as you kind of get a lot closer and kind of inspect these barrels and wet sacks that are kind of all strewn off to the side of the overturned cart. Sort of peeking inside the barrel, you notice contents of little bits of rotten salted pork, smoked sausages, and some of the sacks appear to be empty. You can kind of see traces of some sort of grain in the mud and in the dirt trailing out of them. As the swarm of flies kind of hovers above you and you keep like smacking them away from your views, you kind of get a better view. But judging from how old these things are, they don't appear to be too old though. Looking at the discarded pieces of meat and contents, you could probably surmise that this is probably around 2 days old.
I am specifically looking for a corpse.
No corpse. Just
Okay.
discarded meat.
Is there anything of value?
Nothing of value. This seems like this cart was probably intended for trade of some sort, to either maybe on its way to the city, maybe on its way to a
With my
group of people
investigation
somewhere.
With my investigation check, can I see if maybe one of the wheels is broken or an axle is broken, like maybe what caused it to overturn? Do I see any damage?
Oh no, our wagon.
Our cart is broken.
Our wagons are always broken. This is beyond the realms.
Whoa, you put that back.
No.
Well, you did as you were kind of walking sort of past it, when you kind of, walking at the path and you kind of went by it, you did kind of notice that a harness of some sort was broken off. So it doesn't look like any, looking at the cart a bit closer, it looks like an axle may have broke, but it looks like that's just because it like overturned and landed. So whatever caused this thing to kind of flip over with that high of a check, you probably can put two and two together and see that whatever was pulling this thing, what animal, got insanely spooked and
Okay.
ripped out of its harness and caused the whole thing to bump.
Should have bought a wagons community wagon.
Should have. You know what?
True.
I hear that their warranty.
Wouldn't have broke. Wouldn't have broke.
I hear the warranty on those things is really good.
Yeah.
Although I'm gonna say we should be a little concerned if we find community wagons in the Feywild.
I would be not.
Doesn't
okay.
cover fireballs though. Doesn't
Oh,
cover
yeah,
fire.
Very, very west. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want to point this out. I'm going to die laughing if, and hear me out on this one, we
Uh-huh.
don't sense anything, because this gentleman, his wagon broke, spooked the horses by braking, they took off, and then he went into town to get assistance to get his wagon up. And that's the reason there's nobody in his home.
He's secretly
Yeah,
just
but
like
we're
having.
not
We're
everywhere like this,
We're just
John.
searching this
A
place,
bad
and this guy
time.
just walks up behind us like,
What are you guys
Hello?
doing?
That
He's
will
like, "I
slay
have a
me if we don't
castle
find a
on."
body. And then he comes in like, what are you doing in my house?
He starts firing on us. He's like, I have the castle law. I can protect my home. Get out of here.
The scene just transitions to elsewhere. Golsham the farmer trudging through ice and snow. Finally, I've made it to the finest wagon. Son of a bitch! And the whole place is deserted.
The best.
I
What?
traveled planes for this goddamn car dealership and it's fucking closed.
Might I recommend we go into this gentleman's house and look for things,
that
maps,
might-
perhaps in an office
That's
or
a
a
good-
room?
No, you're correct. There's no tracks or anything because it's still raining. Correct. Okay, great. Yes, I think that's a great idea, Ramira.
This is like evening time, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't matter because of my armor. I'm just gonna go ahead and nightcrawler my way over to the front door of this other place.
All right, so place your tokens accordingly. Fiend's going into the animal enclosure pen area. Some of you going into the farmhouse. I don't have the locations on the map currently, but there is the barn sort of behind these buildings and a small shed if you wanted to go there as well.
I don't like that Kevin wants us specifically to show him where we are on the map.
Show me where you are on this ground.
DMs
Show
don't
me
know this
if you're within
trick.
range.
That is the most sus thing. Why do you want to know where we on the map? So I know where you are.
Why do you want to know?
Listen,
Why'd you move my token for me? You don't want me to be by myself and disassociate? Kevin? People disassociate?
We are so suspicious of Kevin all the time. He's like, "Look, I
Listen.
just need to know where you
I
are.
mean, for
Kill
good
me
reason.
once.
For
Kill me
good
once.
reason.
Shame on me. Kill me twice.
No,
Shame
I'm not
on
going with you guys. I'm
someone
staying
else.
right here.
I don't blame you. I've heard.
Oh, really,
Heard that.
Kevin?
Oh, really?
Is the front door unlocked?
Well, the animal enclosure doesn't have a door necessarily, just like some flimsy, sort of thin barn wooden doors are kind of flapping a little bit in the wind as the rain kind of picks up a little bit. The door, or sorry, no one's going to the farmhouse, just to the animal enclosure.
Not yet.
I think we
We
should
want to
split
uncover the
party.
rest of this map first.
Let's
Okay.
just split the
Yeah.
party like we always do,
I
guys.
was like, what?
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
We just love
What's
split.
the difference, really?
So yeah, you're easily able to just kind of like open up those sort of thin wooden doors to this animal enclosure if you like. And you've got dark vision, so no worries there. I'll just open this out for you.
Fiend isn't aware, but there is an arcane eye floating right above his head, visibly.
I hear something.
Doesn't make any sound.
Sounds moist.
No. Fiend, no. Floats a little
so-
further away from him.
This pen, made of heavy planks nailed to tree trunk posts. The double wooden gate sort of hangs open. As you look inside, in one corner is a wide basin used for slops. Make me a perception check.
Nope. Somebody? Anybody else? Anyone with dark vision? Got
I
good
can
perception?
try.
I got it. All right,
Right.
fine.
I don't have dark vision, JK, but I did roll a
Perception.
perception
It's a
check.
17.
I
Perception.
got a 24.
Oh, you two
Well,
don't have
there
dark
you
vision? No, I thought you both did. Did the
Mhm.
Arcane Eye have dark vision?
The Arcane Eye has dark vision, yeah, 30 feet.
That's what I thought.
25.
Wait, as a tiefling, how do you not have dark vision?
I do.
No, fucking, what's your name, John?
What's your name?
How's
Hey.
it going?
Hey.
Nice to meet you. It's not that I don't have dark vision, it's that I have 0 on wisdom, so I have no perception.
25.
Same.
Yeah.
13.
25.
Farrell, are you looking from that distance, or are you going to the
No,
end?
I will move in. Once Fiend is like, can somebody like
Okay.
look and help me look? I'll move up.
So,
It would help
Coming
if you
inside.
open your eyes. Fiend.
God, Fiend, come on. I'm still like Fiend's in a little weird like headspace. I'm like, I don't know where Fiend's mind is at right now, so I'm just gonna look.
Alright.
Drugs mainly.
As you
Yeah.
all Scooby-Doo one after the other, put your heads out in a formation, looking past the wooden gate doors.
I need that fan out now.
You notice a wide basin used for slops, still half full of grain, bread ends, and apple cores. The ground inside seems to be an enclosure of mud, and you do see some large clumps in the dirt, kind of halfway inside. Like kind of these big mounds, kind of covered in the mud. So strange.
I just want to make this clear. I'm thinking you're assuming that I went with them. Because I disassociated IRL. I didn't tell them about the purple shifting figures, did I? That were moving over. So
Be a negatory Ghost Rider.
strangers doing there, they're just like, oh man, I really could go for some carrots, guys. Guys.
Straight.
And then I'm gonna yell out, wait!
Of course they didn't come.
There's
with me.
something! Purple
What?
shifting something! You're not alone! Just
Why are you over there?
I
What?
disassociated.
Get over here, Strange.
Here.
Are you just gonna stay over across the branch, or? What are you saying?
You know what?
Something in the
Never mind.
What?
Something in the mind.
I'm gonna.
They're in the trees.
What language are they speaking?
They're in the trees, Farrell. You might know about this.
Okay, look. I don't speak for every tree.
Are you sure? I heard there was some being called the Lorax that did that.
Right, and I am not him.
You know what? Fuck it, Kevin. I tried. I'm not. I tried.
I'm gonna go see what they need, and I'm gonna walk back over halfway. Are you crossing out? What are you doing? Come on. Strange?
Hold on.
You know, I heard vampires couldn't cross running water.
Oh no. Show me your neck.
Oh no.
Clink, 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 clink.
All the armor just.
Wait. I'm getting. Did you actually say that? Show me your neck. Wow, Ramira's so forward all of a sudden. I didn't think you were like that.
Check this out, baby. Like that. Yeah.
I'll entertain. I'm moving forward.
7 symbiotes just.
Strange instantly forgets who Ramir is.
Time to punch a hole through your chest. Straight through the heart.
Kalima.
All right, but I am.
All of the open chest references. Go.
I'm communicating that they're. I am incapable of doing that right now. I am so strange communicating that I saw things with my divine sense. Kevin, where did I see it specifically? Where was it? My eyes were.
So they were all within the forest tree line. So you didn't see anything in the barn
cool.
itself. It was in the forest area where you had come from, and then sort of past the barn into the tree line. There were faint signatures out there as well.
Okay, so there were faint signatures outside the barnyard or in the barn.
Like outside the barn in the forest tree line. In the forest behind the farmland, not in the farmland, behind.
But okay, in the trees. Okay, turn back.
In the trees.
That they saw the purple chicken nugget from McDonald's out in the.
What is a McDonald's?
You're not there, Dart.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right, Farrell's going inside. So like
maybe since we're out here and there's creepy purple glowing things and danger is afoot, maybe stay with the group. That way you don't get turned into a vampire or a werewolf or any other manner of things that could change you from your current status.
Fine.
Thank you, Morgan Freeman.
I'm gone. I'm out of it. I'm going to just go walk with you. Assume that I just walk with you.
She holds a single finger and just carries you around. Come on now. I relay the purple information.
All right.
Does that ring a bell at all for spending 10 years in the super fae? Like auras or anything like that?
Come again?
Like the purple auras that they're seeing in the tree line and whatnot, like from spending 10 years in the fae, mentally speaking, of course.
Well, to be fair, imagine the Feywild as an apartment. You spent 10 years in the bathroom, like you
got it.
You're in one particular part of it.
That is where most people do their drugs. So,
damn.
In the domain you were in, you did not come across any undead creatures, that type of thing. You might have seen the origins of like werewolf and underdarkling type creatures, but not like undead zombies or demons or anything like that. The domain you're in was a very pleasant, safe space. But you having, familiar with the arcane and something as, fairly familiar as the spells that Feral and Sir Strange have been casting, seeing the aura of undead things around here it's a bit strange, but like undead, fiendish, dark things do exist within the Feywild, so it's not totally uncommon, but like seeing so many of them in one area is strange.
My interest is piqued. I hit the back of the Rolodex. We found nothing. Source unknown. Let's move into the barn.
All right, so going into this enclosure, looks to be some sort of like swine pig pen of some kind. Lots of, again, fresh dirt in the ground. Half-filled troughs sort of everywhere with grain and bread end pieces. In the middle of the this location, you do see some big bulbous formed shapes in the dirt.
Like graves?
I don't know.
Right.
You want me to kick it?
Well, hold on. Fungi grow on the ground, as you know, you're a druid, and maybe there's some sort of pustules under that packaging that is dirt. I would rather not spread anything.
I have an idea. I didn't think I'd get to use these so quickly, Kevin. Can I take out one of my seeds?
Bad thing.
You want to introduce a foreign
No.
You certainly can.
Can I take out one of my little seeds?
Yes, you can.
You know
Okay,
what?
trust
We've
me.
talked about invasive species being
Right.
catastrophic to the local ecosystem, like
Yeah.
Sam, for example.
Okay, trust me on this one. You'll love this.
This is going to be very interesting.
Well, as long as you don't stab me in my sleep in the future, I feel like we're totally fine.
Why would I stab you in your sleep?
I don't know. It's just like one of those odd things that you're like, I can trust somebody.
Wait,
They'll never
like,
do
why
that
would
to
I
me.
stab you in your sleep? I'm gonna do it when you're awake if I'm gonna do it at all. Come on.
And you know what? I respect that.
Exactly.
Reoccurring nightmare and such.
I'm going to take out one of the seeds, just one of them, and throw it up in the air and let it land, and then it'll grow.
So you take out one of the sort of sesame seed sized gifts that the monarch had gave you back in the Domain of Delight Affinity. The coloration matching that of our good boy Zarbok, the capstary mushroom guard, matching the cap of the mushroom of his head that was kind of a dark red with bits of white spots that cover the seed, and you throw it up in the air. Kind of lands in the mud, kind of halfway in, and then starts to sink deeper and deeper. Kind of wait a minute, and a small little mound of dirt kind of spouts up and falls to the side. And then pretty soon, after like a couple minutes or so, start to see this red, white dotted mushroom cap start to burrow itself out of the ground. As you see a very tiny tapestry, sentient mushroom being sprout out of the ground, just kind of doesn't seem to be speaking any sort of language or anything, just sort of bits and bobs of sounds that just kind of looks around and
And I'll lean down. Hello, little guy. Can you do me a favor? Right. I need you to go over to right where those mounds are with all the dirt.
Yeah.
And I need you to let me know what they are. Best you can. At least go investigate a little bit.
This is why you will get you sent him to die.
Bean, I'm talking.
Wait.
I never did this to Hathaway.
Out of character.
Oh my
Out of character.
Oh,
I
now you're the father figure of the
I
year,
wanna-
John.
I want to ask.
Don't get me wrong, Hathaway died, but that was.
I want to ask a question, but I'm very curious. Yo, is the fungi speaking Sylvan?
That's a good question, actually.
The fungi is not speaking any particular language. Freshly kind of just being born into the world,
Right.
just kind of has own sort of language that it's just using.
As I hear Fiend pop off a little bit, she's gonna boop the mushroom on top of its cap and go, and your name is now Fiend. And go.
Kind of boop it on the nose. If it had a nose, it's more of a
It's like a little boop, it's a boop on the mushroom cap. Like, boop. No, if you'll go investigate for me, see if you can dig around a little bit.
It was a smart thing naming him Fiend. Fiends can't die.
Yeah, I know.
So you see his tapestry, tiny little arms and tiny little legs, two little like a watermelon seed eyes, and kind of this big smile that kind of goes from large might of its stalk with this big sort of meaty mushroom cap head, bopping on the head. It looks back at this like big dirt mound.
You just have to dig a little bit. Just see if you can find anything. If you need help, I'll send your brothers with you.
And I try to climb up the side of the dirt mound, kind of falling down from the wet dirt. It's gonna make an athletics check. Just climb
I'll
up.
figure it out.
Can I give it a fork?
Are you weaponizing my shrooms?
This thing is probably about this big.
Say.
Like giving
So
it
it'd be like a spear?
Side. It wouldn't be a spear. Maybe like a short
long
sword.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I give it a fork.
Yeah.
Is this only because I named it Fiend?
Take this mighty one.
You're weaponizing my mushrooms more than they already are.
It's more like climbing gear, if anything.
Oh, that's also good, but we'll figure it out eventually.
Kind of like sticks it into whatever this mound is, using it to kind of climb up on top. On top of the dirt mound.
I mean, if you're worried about other spores from here, like, it is a spore.
It starts clearing some of the dirt mound away with its tiny little arms and hands. Eventually kind of starting to get through. It's like a couple inches thick of dirt, of mud all around it. Seemingly whatever looks like a pile of things, kind of pile of mounds in this area. And as it's kind of clearing out the dirt, one of the mounds kind of turns over, falls down.
Wow.
As the mound kind of starts to split open. And what you see inside.
I'm gonna pick up my little shrimmy friend. Put him on my shoulder. With this
I've done that once. It's a bad idea. Throw him outside.
I'm not keeping him in my pocket, Fiend. Plus, this is a fiend. He can't die. As she just like sits there and pat.
You see these mounds kind of fall apart as the middle of this dirt mound is now open to you. What you see are around 6 partially eaten pig bodies.
Oh.
They look pretty mutated. As you kind of look at their horrific bodies, they are eyeless, 6-legged, covered in tumors and boils. As you kind of look and notice their mouths, they all have like really dreadful mouths of rows of razor sharp teeth. Make me a survival check there, Farrell.
Oh.
You straight up took Spider Pig and made it a thing.
Yeah.
Spider-Pig.
Survival plus 3.
Spider
So
Pig.
that's gonna be 16. I rolled 13.
16. As you kind of have this little mushroom pal on your shoulder, and she's kind of holding on as you're kind of looking down, you can kind of see that the wounds that were inflicted, they're kind of in all manner of areas on each pig, but as you look into their mouths, you see bits of dried flesh and meat kind of on their mouths as well. And they kind of, the mouth marks kind of signify the bite marks on the body, kind of, they
I
match.
was gonna say, were they eating each other?
Yeah, it seems
Okay,
like the bite
great.
marks in the mouths kind of match, signifying some sort of cannibalistic frenzy that might have gone on.
Great, we love that. Okay.
Animal Farm
Right.
called this.
Oh.
Great.
And you can see with that check, you can kind of see a bit of muddy tracks leading from this pile of hogs out the opposite end of the barn, where there are 2 more kind of flimsy wooden doors heading out that way.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, pigs do eat each other in real life. They eat each other's ears all the time. Anyways, so patting my mushroom like it's okay.
Oh.
Guy. Oh.
As you kind of investigate the pigs and kind of moving things over, just made a roll. The tapestry goes.
What?
It's kind of starting to freak out and like point down at the pile of dead pigs.
Okay. I kind of look. What? What are you trying to tell me? What did you notice?
Make another perception check.
I rolled investigation the first time. Do you want perception this time?
Yes.
Okay. That is going to be 15.
15, just made it.
Shit.
You can kind of notice another form of body parts underneath the pile of dead pigs.
Gonna take the little guy off my shoulder for a second. Hand him to Fiend. Here, hold Mini Fiend. Be nice to him.
Right, yeah, wait.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to kick over the other bodies of the pigs.
Okay.
Like, she just kind of like kicks and pushes them over.
As you saw, like, you can just kind of barely make out like a single fingertip kind of up above the dirt. You sort of push away the other discarded pigs, all mutilated and chomped through, kind of dig through the mud a little bit. And you do see...
I want to say the Pharaoh does it by kicking over the bodies of these pigs and uses mold earth to move the rest of the dirt. She is not touching it.
You see a single arm and part of a torso that seem to remain. With that strong sort of combination of survival and wisdom, you can kind of surmise that the remains probably belong to a human, late 20s maybe. Like, doesn't look like the skin looks fairly like still clean, fresh. Doesn't look like old or anything like that.
Can I figure out how long this body is being decomposed? Like, does it look like this was fresh? Like this, like judging by the wounds on the pigs and now by this torso, can I surmise like around a guesstimate of when this may have happened? Like, I don't expect to get an exact answer. Yes, Steph.
I was going to say, also earlier, Ramir went to the house while this was all happening, just as a background thing. She was like, I don't know, they're snooting around in the dirt. I'm gonna go look in this house. This is just a side note thing, so in case you're like, roll initiative, she's like next door.
Also, as well as that, Tarek has sent the Arcane Eye towards the forest that we were warned about, just trying to see if he can see what's over there, just whilst all this is happening.
Okay.
Aside then.
Well, I'll just finish up this and we'll go over to Ramira. So, so you want to try to determine how long the bodies have
like a ballpark of when this may have happened. Like, I don't expect an exact date or anything like that. Just like, oh yeah, they may have been here like 72 hours or...
Yeah, make me a survival check again.
Can I argue medicine?
Yeah, you could do that too.
Okay. I would like to argue medicine then. 28 with a natural 20.
28.
On a roll.
I was about to say, tonight's my night, apparently. It's not going to matter if we get into any combat. I'm going to suck.
Yeah, so the pig bodies and this young human seems to be here for like 3 days or so. So it's not like a long time, but like long enough that it seems a bit gross. But that things aren't still like, fresh to the touch. It's been there for a few days.
Okay, I'm gonna look over to Fiend, who's now holding Mini Fiend.
Oh yeah, you got to take him from me. I'm about to get attached.
No, give mine.
He comes back and he's got like the top of a teapot as a shield.
Where did you? Okay, you know what? That's very adorable. I'm very glad you've outfitted Mini Fiend. Give. You can play with Mini Fiend later.
How many of those seeds did you get?
Because he's Mini Fiend.
He's cute as a motherfucker.
He's super cute. He's adorable. He's a mini shroom. And I put him back on my shoulder and pat him, now with his mini shield and his... So 72 hours, about, give or take. There's some tracks leading this way. I know everybody else is kind of off in the other house. Do we continue on? Do you want me to wait?
Well, what the fuck? She snuck away from me. Us.
And with that, we'll go over to Ramira, who at the time that you went over to the barn, Ramira kind of just curious about the farmhouse, went over there to investigate. So Ramira, coming through the front door, you just kind of go over, look at the handle, and just swing it open?
Yeah, she's going to test it first to see if it's open.
Yeah, it kind of seems to be locked.
She takes her mace out.
Bam! Make me an attack roll.
Oh boy. That's not the worst thing I could have done. Hang on 1 second, because I have all these doodads. A dirty 20.
Big hit. Roll damage.
Okay. It's 7 points of damage.
7 points. So the door being not like, it's sturdy, but not too strong. You just kind of go over to the lock and just the door handle just like breaks off of the wood, and you're kind of able to get your hand through the hole and take off the latch within, open up the door, walk on in. So you still see all the stuff that I explained that Tarek had seen about the hearth fireplace, the various accoutrements of hanged sausages, and the dinner table kind of aligned everywhere with that kind of bigger chair at the head of the table, various kitchenware and dinner plates and such kind of out. Is there anything particular you wanted to search for while you're in here?
She's looking for the map. Like, she's not necessarily interested in finding this person. She just wants to find the map so that they can get there and get gone. So she's more looking at like desks or like trunks or things that would hold precious papers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so there were two kind of trunks that Tarek had seen. There was one. Scanning. There was a wooden chest at the opposite end of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another large unlocked trunk at the end of the hallway.
Okay, I'll go to the larger one at the end of the hallway just to do a quick look around.
Okay, so no need for a check here as it is unlocked. You just open it up. Looking inside, you see a variety of tools and implements, seemingly to be used around the house and farmstead. Also in the trunk is a roll of sturdy vellum, showing a rough but fairly accurate map of the nearby area, including the location of the temple, and 2 sets of stone stairs needed to climb the hill to get to it.
Oh, Shantae. She grabs the maps and rolls them up, puts them in.
I will say, make me a quick perception check.
Oh,
or investigation check.
Investigation. That's a 19.
19. So as you look, you see that sort of trunk at the end of the bed. You see another trunk down that end of that hallway. You saw that the lid is kind of partially open. Kind of just, as soon as you saw it partially open, you were like, gonna book it there first. You kind of just rushed over there, didn't really check anything out, open it up, see, like, oh, fuck, the map's sick. Okay. Look at some other implement tools. As you shut the lid, you kind of face first with where the lock would be. And you see that part of it is broken off.
Oh. I hate that for us. Noted. And she's going to quickly roll up the maps and put them like in her bag of whatever. And I almost said bag of holding. That's my other cleric. Put that in my bag. And then I'm going to go look in the other trunk as well, just for shits and giggles.
Okay. As you go over to this trunk, this one is locked. Lock still there on the end. Would you like to try to pick said lock?
So I don't have any picking skills, like lock picking skills.
So you could still pick locks, you just won't get your proficiency bonus with it.
Is it probable to say that I could use my mace again?
I mean, you can certainly try.
I try my mace again.
All right, roll to hit.
Fuck. It's only a 10.
That does not have much of an AC.
I know, but with My luck is swing and a miss.
Oh, bam, bam, hole in the ground. Roll damage.
Oh, that's only 2.
Kind of use your mace and kind of skid off the side of it. Didn't get a very good hit. Welcome to try again.
Maybe I'll try it Fiend's way. Can I try picking this lock?
Yeah, for sure. Make me a dexterity check.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, thank you, Traveler. My critiness person got me dice, and they treat me well. It is a 21.
Fiend's way always works best.
Now, shush, okay? The Traveler is the one who busts me, and that's what I'm going with.
DC was 18. You're able to kind of sort of look around and kind of grab a fork and a knife and kind of like smash it with your hammer. So the little pins on the fork kind of able to use that thin enough to try to get in there and try to pick it and kind of get in with them.
While I do that, I'm like, now you see, Ramira, the way that you're supposed to do this. And she's like making a fun monologue about her, about Fiend teaching her how to do this one day. Oh, I'm so clever. You're right, Fiend, so clever.
Oh shit, it actually worked.
And then she goes, we will never tell him this.
Using sort of an improvised lockpick, smashing some prongs of forks and hearing some of the wise words of Fiend, even though you really don't want to admit it, able to open up that lock by proxy and open up the top, and the chest does contain seemingly the farmhand Golsham's fortune. So it's not very much. Modest for him, but it's 23 gold pieces, 118 silver pieces, a hunting knife with a beautifully carved bone handle with silver inlay, a heavy crossbow with an ornately carved stock, and a quiver of 20 bolts. The crossbow looks like it would fetch quite a lot of gold pieces. It's very well made. It looks like kind of like not an antique, but like just like a fine craftsman made this like a long time ago. Still functional, still works good. That's about it.
I'll pay to double his hoard and just leave it for him.
She stands over it and she goes, I don't know that I feel very good about taking this man's money. And then she just closes the box back up. Am I able to lock it back into place?
I don't know if I've ever had anyone try to lock a pit. You'll make another lock picking check, I guess, to put back the mechanism the way it was.
Don't break.
No, it's not good. It's only a 13. I can't get it to go back.
Permanently lock it.
Yeah, so you try to go in there and sort of, put the lock back through the metal loop and try to get it back into its into the hole that it kind of it fits into. Get your prongs out from your fork and try to put it back in there. Try to turn the gears back and try to put the lock back in its locking position. But shit, what the fuck did Fiend say? I don't know how to lock things. I don't know how to unlock things.
No,
and just try to get in there and it's just not working.
Okay, I just leave it then. I flounce my way back over to the folks.
Okay. As you kind of make your way out with the temple map in hand, we will go over to Tarek, who at the same time made the Arcane Eye go over into the tree line.
Yeah, he's staying with just kind of like at the entrance to the barn just to make sure that like Fiend and Fella are okay as they're kind of exploring inside, and then he just sends the eye off it kind of into the forest slowly, trying to kind of seek out what Strange and Ramira pointed out to them about something lurking over there.
Okay, and the range is like crazy far, right?
It's infinite. I can just move it 30 feet a turn is the only limit.
Okay, so let's say you're able to kind of move it sort of in this tree line here, and sort of behind you over there. So you take the Arcane Eye out as they're kind of slifting through the discarded hog corpses and find the arm, the torso of some young man
Just
inside.
casually standing there, straight-faced, watching this.
The Arcane Eye kind of going through the brushes, going through the trees in the dark. Does Arcane Eye have dark vision?
Yes, 30 feet. It has 30 feet of regular vision and dark vision.
All right, so going through, you start to see various animals, undead animals, various fey animals and creatures that are kind of seeming like hunting around and like grabbing like live animals and like ripping them to shreds, digging into them, just sort of all around. You see like squirrels leaping onto foxes, ripping out their necks, and then they're kind of going closer and closer. You see like this sort of Feywild version of a leopard with two tails kind of slowly like creeping up on like a deer not too far off, like a fawn is about to go for it, and then this boar goes just sticks it in with its tusks, rips to the ground as two or three of them just come from all sides like raptors. You see that their bodies are like half-eaten ribs exposed, rotten meat outside with 6 eyes and multiple eyes and 6 legs, and they start chomping down. Very much whatever this energy is, this toxic vibe is just infecting the land all around, it seems.
Those things that we saw in the forest, the things that Strange could detect. Undead animals. They're all attacking the live ones. If the map takes us that way, we should be careful. They're extremely aggressive, it seems.
Right. Animals?
Yeah, I kind of figured that out, gesturing to the pigs that have eaten each other.
Those aren't pigs. They're gross manifestations of arachnid horrors.
Well,
an organic
the
form.
Ones similar to these. So, whatever it is, I think they've suffered the same fate. Whatever drove them to this.
And Saf, as you got the map there, I'm going to send this into the BTR chat for you to see.
Nice. A map.
On the map. Yeah, this
I was just thinking.
And she has the map, and she's like, "Hey guys, I actually found."
No. You don't want it. Just.
That's so gross. Where did the small mushroom Zarmok?
Oh, this is mine. No, this is mine. This is Fiend.
You really did get what you wanted in the end. You named him Fiend?
Yeah. At least this one.
Fiends can't die.
Yeah.
That's because they need a Ramira around. Anyways.
That's why that's why I have 4 more seeds, and one of them is going to be named Ramira. Like that's
Oh.
4 more seeds even.
I swear to God, John.
Not
my mushrooms.
He's gonna steal those from you. Anyways, I pulled the map out and I'm like, look, I found this map actually, and it leads hopefully to the temple, and found some stairs that are probably leading to the temple, and somebody also found the entry point before us, which is probably why old farmhand Joe is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this guy just
Right.
to be tortured.
How about, and I mean this, we scurry down that staircase and attempt to beat, or at least meet, whoever came before us there.
How long has the body been here?
According to Pharaoh, 72 hours.
Like 3 days.
That means they have 72 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, but they didn't know anybody was chasing them. Maybe they strolled, took their leisurely time. It is the Feywild, and there's pixie dust.
And it's glooming. Like,
Did you know pixie dust makes you think left is right and right is left? Have you ever played that child game where when you go down, it's actually up, and up is actually down?
Okay, Fiend, super interesting story. However, if we're going to beat whoever this is, most likely glooming, we should get going then.
Well, you have a map. Should we use the stairs, or should we just
I can
straight through the forest?
Kevin, the map is saying to use the stairs, right?
It said that there were a couple stone steps near the temple to get up into it on some sort of hillside, but the map is showing you that the location is several miles through the forest.
I feel like we have to use the stairs so we don't get lost in the Feywild.
Stairs are at the temple, not actually inside the building.
Oh, I got very confused then. So
No problem. Yeah, this is what I'm.
What?
This is what I suggest, mate.
Earlier description. Sorry. Back to it. There was no stairs. I just found
maybe we use giant eagle.
Yeah, it said roughly accurate map of the nearby area, including the location of the temple and the 2 sets of stone stairs needed to climb the hill to get to it.
Okay, and then you said that this is why I was confused. The trunk that I opened was broken open. Is that correct?
Yes, the one that contained the map looked like a lock had been ripped off of it.
So now I have to wonder what was in there that was worth stealing but leaving the map. So they obviously know how to get there, but they needed something else that was in the trunk.
Probably a key.
But why would the farmer have a key to the temple?
Maybe he wasn't always a farmer. You weren't always an adventurer.
Yeah, I guess before this. I did have a drastic change in business, as it were.
Mood.
Well,
got this. It shouldn't go through the forest.
Right, we should go above the forest because, and I can't believe I'm quoting this little fucker, as Lemon.Peridove. Peridot.Lemondove. Why is it so foggy now? I feel like it was Peridot. It's Peridot. Peridot.Lemondove. As he said at one point in time, it is always better to be up than down, because down is left, and left is not right.
My brain hurts. There's dead things in the forest, and they might attack us if we go through there. We can fly above. We should.
Say, I've got you.
Right.
As you say that,
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Son of a bitch!
Damn it, we went fast enough.
you start to notice in the brush behind you near the stone bridge
Survivor.
You start to see 3 very large swine-like creatures with multiple eyes peering out of their body, tentacles, flesh and fresh, whipping themselves around with multiple legs as these boars start to charge at you. But before that, we're going to take a break. So,
Oh, are we? Oh my
we're going
god.
to take just a quick break right now to refresh the drinks, stretch the legs, and we'll decide if you guys want to ensue in this combat or quickly fucking fly away and get into the
I would
forest.
like to know that Farrell now knows what they look like and can turn into them. That's all.
Oh, damn.
Gross.
Nasty.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Love you all. We will be back in a quick 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And we are back, and in the middle of a mutated swine battle that's about to start. Mutated swine battle.
Is that Tweety Bird mutated?
I know.
Oh, woo there, mutated.
Oh, woo there,
know.
mutated swine.
Eat it.
I hate it here.
Okay, so with that, everyone,
Another one of those fireballs.
having freshly discovered a pile of undead cannibalistic hogs in the farm with body parts of a dead farmhand, I need you all to roll initiative.
The
As
normal
large,
hogs.
creepy, multi-eyed, tentacled, multi-legged swine approach.
I just rolled my 4th 19 tonight. So
Hey.
thank you to We're Legends Babe who bought me this set of dice, and also my Critter Santa person, whoever you may be. Incredible.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll
21.
go. I'll just go through the rings. Farrell.
19.
Jesus. And then Ramira, you got a 19 as well.
A 21 total.
God damn!
I know.
I thought I rolled high. Okay. 19, 21. Fiend?
Dirty 20.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Tarek.
You asked.
5.
Oh my god, someone's human.
I rolled a 2 plus 3.
You said a 5 total?
Yeah.
No, we definitely can't fly up the coop. You know?
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is that I'm just at the beginning of the next initiative.
Answer strange.
16.
16. Boom shakalaka. Okay. God damn. Okay. So Ramira will be first, followed by Fiend on deck. Ramira, what would you like to do?
Are we running? Are we going? Are we running? Oh, she's like,
Right away. 5.
God, I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far. I guess I'm gonna cast Sacred Flamme.
Sacred Flamme.
On this guy here, so if he could make me a dex save.
Okay. Just getting all this initiative in order. Okay. Yeah. That's all right. Sacred Flame at which one? This one?
Yes, that one there. If you
Hava!
could do a dex save for me.
A little deck save. I think I can do that for you. Okay, here we go with the deck save. Ooh, that's a crisp 2.
Yay! He fails and takes 3d8 plus 5 radiant damage. Balls. That's 18 points of radiant damage for me, sir.
Jeezy crazy.
That's a cantrip, baby.
Okay.
And that was my action, so I cannot, in fact, get to pocket size Ramira. So that is it for me.
All right, I see these swine kind of huffing and puffing, snarling, grunting, start trotting their way, seeing fresh meat. Ramira just comes up and just hand and flame in the hand, throws it forward, and many of the eyes of the swine just start to squeal in pain. The tentacles writhing all over as one of its hooves kind of buckles into the ground and skids for a little bit, stopping it from its impending approach. Anything else? Okie dokie. Then we go over to Fiend.
Fiend kind of steps forward and goes, "Don't worry, I've got this."
So you
And
are
opens-
inside the barn, the pen still, just so you know.
So he walks up and says, "Don't worry, I've got it." Movement. It's a beautiful thing. Opens his palm and a bead appears, a very famous.
Oh shit!
And then small little flames start licking off it, but they're all multicolored. And he lets it go, and in a 30-foot cube, I cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Oh shit!
So they all make a Wisdom saving throw.
This ain't gonna be good.
DC
That's,
20. They are pigs after all.
Yeah, they all fail. Every single
They're all,
one.
they're all unconscious. They're all incapacitated. All righty, let's go.
no.
Come on. Moving on. Nothing to see here, everybody.
Quickest combat ever. Let's go.
How long is it last for?
Last. Sorry.
Somebody's teapot is ready.
Yeah, I get it. Charms in his creature's spell. It takes any damage if somebody uses an action. It's a stupor. 1 minute. So we have 60 seconds to shamu.
So as the hog just start charging forward, flaming fireball, little mini one hits one of the hogs in the side of its large form, kind of buckles down in the dirt. Then Fiend just comes out, gray energy or purple energy kind of wisping out the eyes, hand raised as this sort of purple smoke comes out of his wrists. Sleep! Each hog falls over. You know you got a minute before they wake up as the many six eyes all blink out. All their tentacles fall to the ground.
Are we running? Are we running?
Yeah, there's no
Good
sense
job,
in-
Fiend.
Right. No sense in killing them.
What?
So, fly away.
Did this-
Right. Right.
No.
Yes.
Anyways, we should fly. We should ask questions later. Flying now.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay, so I can take at least 2 of you.
2.
Unless I polymorph you. Ramir, you can be small.
Just polymorph one of us.
All right, I've
Okay.
got this. He's just gonna have just a regretful look on his face, like, I promised myself I wouldn't do this again. He's gonna just kind of step away from the group and is gonna cast polymorph on himself. Yeah, as he very slowly changes into a giant eagle, similar to one that Farrell turns into.
Ooh.
Just
Enchanted.
entirely just purple.
I thought that Odin's thing was a raven. No?
I mean, yeah.
Not important. Let's go. I guess we gotta go quick. Right? You said
Right.
1
So
minute?
then Farrell's also going to transform into a giant eagle.
I'm going to climb on Farrell's shoulders.
Great. I can take one more person, and then Tarek can take the other, and then we can go.
I'm gonna ride Tarek.
Okay. All right. I take Ramir and Strange.
She's on her her elbows like this on Farrell's shoulders, and she's like, "Did you hear him? He said that he didn't want to kill them. That there was no sense in it.
Wow.
Sense. I mean, 10 years means a long time, but like, I didn't think he'd ever grow out of that one." As they're like lifting into
Yeah. As she's flapping, and like you can hear little chips like little.
I
chips,
know.
like-
She has no idea what you're saying, but she's agreeing with you.
Oh, 100%. So I've taken Strange, Ramira. We are flying because Ramira, I believe, still has the map, so Ramira can guide me of where we're going.
I hold it in front of your bird nose.
just basically like, tell me where I'm going, and then just starts flying, and then looks over, makes sure Tarek has Fiend, and we fly, and we're going.
I imagine
just
that because
fall
Tarek
out.
hasn't done this very often. It's like a baby bird trying to get out of the net. Like we're going in different directions and shit.
Oh, oh.
So Farrell and Tarek changing into bird-like forms, carrying basically one half of the party there and half the party over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are flying. And
And
Ramira and
flying
Farrell
fools.
front because Farrell and has Ramira who has the map.
So ends Kevin's glorious combat encounter.
How was that initiative, Kevin?
We really said no.
First time I get high initiative ever as a fucking monsters is just. Let's just put that
You
over
literally
there.
said during the break, I hope you guys roll high on the initiative. And we went,
Don't need it. We're practically gods. We're over the mutated swine encounters, Kev. Let's just knock them out and fly away.
Uncultured swine.
you say that.
So
but now
yeah,
it's like,
as
oh,
the
I feel like Kevin's like, oh, you bypassed that, and now it's going to be worse. Like, you could have picked this or something else, and you picked the something else.
oh man. All right, that's how that feels. All right. Let's just go down the notes here and
Pacifist feeds.
just
I hate that.
go there and
Pacifist fiend.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So as Fiend comes out with those purple wisps of smoke out of his wrists, sleep. They all just knock on the side, kind of skid in the mud and the dirt. As you all just say, "We get the fuck out of here, right? We got the map. Let's get this. Let's go. All right." Farrell just immediately changes into this giant eagle form that they're all so prone to do as the skin changes quickly from smooth skin into coarse feathers with an enormous wingspan and sits there with the talons perched, able to kind of start to hover up above you all, taking two of you by the talons and realizes they can't really take much more. Tarek's like, well, I haven't done this in a while, but a huge puff of smoke lands over Tarek as the bones break and the skin starts to crawl and separate, turning into, once again, it was a baby bird?
No, it's the same as Farrell turns into a giant eagle.
Oh, so two giant eagles.
He's like a baby bird since he doesn't fly very often. But John said baby bird is stuck.
Unlike Farrell, Tarek is just entirely purple.
Yeah, entirely purple.
Farrell has watched
giant eagle form as the mist and the smoke kind of disperses after your transformation. You're kind of trying to like get used to the balance of like giant wingspan and kind of bouncing back and forth for a little bit, and you kind of get your stance like, okay. All right,
if Farrell could face palm, she would. But she's too
big. As you go up and kind of kip up, pardon me, as you kip up with your wings, able to get your talons out and kind of grab the other two party members.
Oh, it's just Fiend, I think I've got
Ramira and Strange.
Right, so Ramira and Strange under Farrell and Fiend and Tarek as you...
Yep.
Having fond memories of Toon.
Yep. missing. Oh my god.
And as you start to just get more and more higher and higher in altitude, trying to kind of get over the forestry here, start to make your way toward trying to follow the map towards where the temple is. Ramira having the map, kind of holding it out as his talons are kind of lashed onto you, kind of like, bearing right, go straight, no, keep going straight. With all of you kind of up there, it's several miles over from where you are. So it's probably roughly like 40-ish miles or so from where you are. But having a good path, like it's a massive forest, right? And so you finally, with the map, kind of shows you the route, how to get there without getting lost, especially being in the Feywild. You know how easily that can happen. But at this height, you're able to really get a good view of Mithrandane, of the Autumn City that's kind of barreled over to the westward where you are, or eastward, I should say. And yeah, the city itself, like most cities you see, are very sprawling and wide. It's funny because the width of Mithrandane isn't particularly vast, but the vertical length of it is really impressive. As you're kind of getting higher up and higher up, the lights of the city are kind of banked over to the eastward, and you see those sort of spherical objects that are kind of outlining the outskirts of the city. But you're starting to see kind of like where they begin to end with that farmland and kind of stretch out. And then you see tall buildings made of all various materials, some ingrained into trees in the forest, and some kind of made of old ivory, metals, and stonework that are kind of ingrained to the trees, and some built on their own upright. But they just continue to go up and up and up. You kind of got this good eagle eye view of the city kind of in your periphery. And you see parts of the city are a little bit less shiny than the others. There's definitely like a sort of a less well-do district and a much more finer, well-to-do district. There's this massive, huge cylindrical citadel that kind of sits in the middle of the city. That's the biggest building of them all. Various Eladrin are kind of rising and falling on various platforms, some wooden, some as big as like oversized maple tree leaves that are kind of taking them up and down through the various elevator-like patterns. They're very, very small. From what you can see, they're probably like, this tiny in your view, but you just kind of notice that all that activity kind of going on as you're kind of flying over top of the tree line here. So for survival check, it's going to be a toss-up because Ramira is got the map and you're kind of guiding everyone to follow it. So I'm going to have you roll the survival check to go forward.
Me? Little old me? What's my survival like? I think it's +7.
Oh, no, I said Ramira.
Oh, no, I got excited and I thought that Farrell was going to do it.
No, I said because Ramira is holding the map, they're the ones that are going to guide.
I know, it's called selective hearing. I
was Farrell between Ramira and your sentence. That's why we're like, me?
Is it survival?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're gonna with your knowledge of reading maps and trying to guiding people through the woods here, you're kind of telling them, bear right, go. I
feel like Kevin is targeting me because he knows I can't roll for shit.
No.
You took the map. What do you want from me? I didn't do it.
Okay, it's a 19.
19.
There you go.
Okay, so for the first like half hour, 40 minutes or so, you're soaring. Again, it is nighttime. Various fire lights and tea lights are kind of adorning the tree line below. Again, all autumn colors, all brown and yellow and golden everywhere you go. But you pass by, you can notice various creatures and things kind of down below you, some like jumping in the tree line, various activity here and there, but you're seeming to be following the path fairly well. The weather as well is not particularly harsh to the eyes. There's no mist or cloud or anything. You've got a pretty good view of like where you think you're going. Roll me another survival check.
The good luck had to end sometime, lads. It's 11.
An 11. So in the first 40 minutes or so, gliding through on top of the forest here, there does appear to be some cloud that's kind of starting to roll in a little bit and starting to block your view of the tree line below. You've got two choices. You could try to lower yourself out of the fog currently and get more closer to the tree line to try to get some sort of viewpoint, or just take your chances and just kind of barrel ahead forward.
So... She's like trying to yell back to Fiend. We only have so many choices.
What?
We only have so many choices.
I think she said there's only so many voices. She might be hearing something. Right.
I am going to cast light on myself so he can see me, and I lean down to Eagle Feral and I say our options. We could either go down and get close to the tree line, which I personally hate that idea, or we could keep pushing through the fog, hoping that our comrades see us and we don't get separated. But now I'm a beacon. She wiggles a little bit. So we could be like a little moving lighthouse.
Feral doesn't move. Like, she doesn't go lower. This is just where she's going to...
She's like, do you want to keep trying?
Squaw.
I need to learn how to do Morse code so I can, like, light bleep, like, myself to Fiend. But then I guess that would require Fiend learning Morse code, too. Oh, well. She's going to just make her arms and, like, a keep it going motion.
I think they want us to follow them. Eagle Tarek? Right.
Eric, if you will.
I squall once for yes.
Eagle Tarek, Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Hate it.
Eric Trueblood.
Oh my god, no.
I guess Eagle Feral would be
squall once for
Earl?
I will drop you.
Or Earl, if we really
I
want
am
to.
Earl, hello.
Earl. Eric and Earl.
Eric and Earl, got it.
I love it here.
No.
So I just let's keep it going motion.
All right, so going through this
Pull out flags.
Going through this rolling fog and cloud that's kind of just obstructing your view as you're going forward. Make me a second survival check at disadvantage because your vision is obscured.
This is where we...
I will have you know I just rolled a 17 and a 19, which puts me at a crisp 22 for survival. Thank you to the people who buy me these dice.
Let's
It's break my curse,
Sam.
maybe.
Don't bring attention to it.
Don, I'm being grateful for what I've been given.
Wow. Okay. So getting some sort of instinct to just kind of push forward and not make yourself get too exposed to the near wildlife as you've just explored, maybe kind of mutated and affected by whatever is going on nearby. You choose to barrel forward, and luckily enough, you seem to be going forward for another 5-10 minutes. It's a bit spooky, kind of like when you're in a plane, you're going through all cloud cover and it rattles a little bit. You're like, oh shit, I hope I made the right decision. But the cloud cover is just there for a few minutes, and very soon enough, it all passes by you, and you're able to see the forest line once again underneath you.
Hey, lighthouse.
as you're kind of traveling up the top of the tree line, you do kind of make out very strange findings as you're getting closer and closer to this temple. It seemingly is looking like the mutated effects of the local wildlife in the Feywild seems to be getting more and more intense the closer you're going towards this temple. As you guys are looking around at the tree line, you can make out like certain animals kind of running around. You notice that some of the trees themselves have like kind of have warped into strange shapes. Few seem to have what kind of look like contorted faces, limbs, or section of torsos growing out of wood out of their trunks. You can kind of see some stones have seemed to arrange themselves into images of twisted faces or grasping hands. Signs of mutations are literally everywhere. Many of the birds, insects, and their small animals that would normally be seen in this type of terrain, as they kind of fly by or see them jumping through the tree lines, you see that they are all misshapen or infested with tumors, or have the wrong number of limbs and heads. As you kind of still barreling forward, you notice that the forest here is scattered with various houses. You're like not like, you know, communities necessarily, but like random sort of plots of land with various houses as you kind of keep going closer and closer towards the temple. They're a mix of wood and stone sort of abandoned houses. They're all in various states of dissolution, with many collapsed roofs and walls and overgrown with vines, fungus, and weeds, and some even partially sunk into the earth as if the land itself is trying to swallow the last remains of civilization around this area. And as you make your last leg towards the temple, as you're kind of following the route on the map, you're getting into the last third, as the last sort of 25, 30 minutes or so have gone by. Roll one more survival check.
An 18. That was just regular, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just regular. You have no more cloud cover obscuring you.
Just making sure.
Great rolls all around as you start to see through the tree line, kind of various stages. It's kind of very, very dense. It kind of opens up again, and it's very, very dense. But you do start to see a clearing coming up ahead, and a bit of a space where you can kind of start to swoop down and land safely.
Makes hand gestures for going downwards.
Swooping down.
Going down, and a swooping around. Okay, so as you go I
love it.
The enormity of this temple starts to come into view, with various wings kind of going side to side, front to back. So you go down, the two giant eagles soaring down past a tree line again, those sort of warped trees, kind of notice as you pass down, it's got a very, what's the word, kind of dark crystal vibe going on. Like everything here is just strange. Like everything is just slightly off to the left or the right. Like just, you get this unsettling feeling that just, this isn't right, especially for someone like you, Farrell, very in tune with nature and naturalistic surroundings. You just feel this sort of knot tied in your stomach as you start to land down near this temple. But nevertheless, the two giant eagles gently dropping their party members down, landing in the dirt. You stand before you, kind of on a very elevated hillside. A few sets of stone stairways that lead up towards where the temple entrance would be.
Tarek will immediately change back and just shake it off. Just, been way too long since I've done that. I hate it.
You did all right for your first time, or second time.
Not my first time.
Farrell's gonna.
First time in a while.
Since when could you do that? And when was the first time? Oh, when Pharaoh
That's
came?
embarrassing. Don't ask.
And she like kind of pushes Fiend in the stop. I'm trying to put things out.
Old gift from,
Praz?
Oh, and I'm the one who's
Famine?
supposed to ask things.
Odin?
She like shoves Fiend in his shoulder.
I just
naming them all.
It's like popcorn at this point. You can reach your hand in the bowl and pick one out.
Pharaoh's gonna transform. Like, it's not that bad. Get over it.
No, he's having a hard time, Pharaoh.
Get over it. Emotions. Spend 10 years here.
Plan on it.
Anyways,
So much weirder.
there's a staircase. I think we should climb it.
Everything feels
I
weird
agree.
here. I just want that noted. Thank you. Hi, Jade.
Straight, just going straight for the staircase, just like gonna ignore the conversations that are happening. Just like,
Okay, I guess we're moving forward. Okay.
Just please look before you walk. There could be traps everywhere. Okay, there they go. Okay. I'll heal you later.
Everything around here feels weird. I just want that noted. Thank you. And then she'll press on.
And as you kind of make your way towards the double set of stone steps going up, old granite, cracked and aged. You look around, you see various dead birds just on their backs with feet up. As you look over to the left and the right, you see gnarled wood that's just twisted and just looking like creepy faces that are just kind of like jutting out at you. Their branches looking like gnarled arms and legs that are just like out like this. Very unsettling. But as you slowly start to make your way up the stone steps, you notice what has been said to you, the sanctuary of the first angel in full view. A vast domed cathedral, 60 feet high and over 200 feet from end to end. You kind of notice branching off the main sanctuary are two wings of the building, each rising just over half the height of the central section. You notice that the temple's entrance, that's several feet in front of you, seemingly sits atop of a 3-tiered dais. And you notice that that's where 4 massive columns seem to support in a lintel carved the tableau of a angelic form next to an Achaidh, depicting them victorious in battle, divine religious iconography all underneath, signifying that these pair are victorious in a battle at the end of the divine war. Do you press on?
So we just approach this statue, right? So, sorry, brain unraveling all of this.
That's okay. I'll say it again. So the temple's entrance sits atop a 3-tiered dais where 4 massive columns support a lintel carved with a tableau of an angelic form next to what appears to be an Achaidh, victorious in battle. And by the religious iconography nearby, it seems to depict a battle at the end of the divine war.
Okay. Can I make a history check?
Yes.
Oh, where'd he go? Okay, well, my day's been better. So, it's going to be a 27.
27. Yeah, I've done better. So, looking closely at this tableau, you notice that their inlaid carvings show somewhat of a sunburst surrounded by peacock feathers. and the images of the two people, these two forms, these figures. One of them instantly looks familiar to you. The Aarakocra is Gloomwing.
Mm-hmm.
In a much more less ostentatious outfit than before. More with like a traditional breastplate with looking like long flowing robes with a sword in hand and a shield in the other.
Mhm.
The angelic form next to him, standing there, arm out, look like ready for an onslaught after a victory. Or victorious after an onslaught for the victory. Is something that you strangely remember from a memory not that long ago. When you remembered riding along a sea of various creatures with Odin by your side in a vast sea of white, approaching a building cast in ivory,
Oh, that
opening
bitch.
two double doors, seeing an angelic figure holding many, surrounded by blood and dead bodies, spattered against the white stone, holding a disciple in their hands, looking over to you, is this same angelic figure. As you look at their outfit, they seem to be wearing a helmet that kind of comes down over their face in a solid, sleek motion, kind of curved and angled, that kind of comes down to a point near their chin. The work of it is kind of like in panels lined down, kind of like a helmet in Destiny would kind of look, very angular and pointed. They have this pose like this, and they have this outfit on that looks like it's a singular body piece that has a high collar that comes up to here, and the material kind of has a V-neck down to here, but the entire area of the material goes from their neckline past their shoulders down to their wrists, down past their waist, clinging to their legs down below. And these robes that kind of jut out from a second piece, almost in a V-neck formation that comes down around the neckline here in a pointed form down past their sternum, V'd out with pointed shoulders here, and robes that kind of fling down past their waist and that kind of comes down to their ankles. And as they're holding themselves up like this, there are these glorious sets of wings that furl up like this, and them just holding out like that.
Do I remember a name, or is it just for now the figure?
Name doesn't come to you, but with that high of a history check, you correlate that you've had a vision, a dream, an awakening with this figure at some point. You're not sure what the connection is necessarily, but you remember, I've seen that person before.
Okay. I'll wait for everyone to catch up before I move forward.
And this is the first time, if anyone else comes up to this image of this tableau, that you've ever seen Gloomwing depicted in this fashion or form. Ramira.
She's going to quietly, but how do I say this? Like, essentially, she's going to walk up beside Strange, at risk of overextending myself. I just want you to know that I'm here and that I won't be bothering you anymore after this, but I would imagine there are probably some really big, albeit scary feelings happening. So I'm here, just in case.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be quite honest. I hate it here.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to stay for too long, which is why I'm trying to get this done. By the way, points the statue. That's a Gloomwing, and that other one, remember the times I was having visions, back way when, like, when I didn't know that I was like,
When you remembered your wife?
no, that's like way back. Anyways, I've seen this person in my visions before, and I'm going to make an assumption that Gloomwing and this guy. Oh, by the way, I saw this guy at some point when, in my memories of Asgard, he had killed someone, but it was like very, very vague, as visions are.
Gloomwing or the other guy?
The other guy.
The other guy, okay.
Yeah. Who looks less of like a D-bag. But yeah. I don't know who that is.
Just a lot of murdering all around. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember if that person's still alive?
It's been a while, but I'm going to make an assumption there's a temple dedicated to the guy. Might be deceased. And if Gloomwing is coming over to this temple, probably dead.
I'm just saying a lot of people we thought dead weren't dead, and then we're like, Jacques, you've known all this time, and I'm just covering all the bases.
Yeah, let's just leave is dead as like an open-ended sort of thing.
We'll put a pin in it, we'll come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering the last I saw that guy pointing to the figure aside from
too.
No, everyone had their swords drawn, and we were looked like we're about to unalive the guy.
Lots of murdering. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
The Asgardians are not known for keeping prisoners. You know how that goes. Well, Tarek probably does, but not you.
yeah. I've always kind of been a free agent myself, but regardless, we will take all of that in stride. We will get in, get out, like we always do as the Frostbreakers, in the back door, out the front door, as we are wont to do. Is this fiend like from the background? Anyways, the point is we're all here to support you, and it'll be fine. Not that kind of back door.
I'm gonna turn around slightly to look at. It's like.
No, it's
right.
making
That
it
was
weird.
I'm the thing with my neck and that. I don't know how I feel about this anymore. So
you know what? Strange, you're making me flustered. I think we should just keep going.
Yeah. How do you think I feel?
I'm not doing anything.
And we're going.
Wow. Weird analogy. Tarek, I now understand what a woke thing.
She's like still talking to herself as she walks up. Like, no, it's like what Papa said. You go around the backyard to get to the front door. It's kind of like
I hate it.
James,
is this a bad time to offer my hand to you? Do you need to hold it?
This is something else.
No,
I don't think we should ask.
I'm just saying I think that I understand what you feel like when I say it's a woke thing off of that one conversation.
Well, I
wouldn't ask about that.
It's you all are just not understanding the kind of thing.
No. I'm just saying. I think has really changed since I was in the game.
Strange is moving up. I hate it.
You're making it weird.
I wasn't making it weird. I was just saying I've not seen you so forward. That's all.
I'm walking now.
Right. Is there
fall into a trap?
Is there any like, can I tell whether or not somebody had been here before us recently?
Just looking at the outside, there doesn't seem to be any signs that would look clear to you, especially from the mud and the rain that's been coming through. It's kind of washed away any fresh tracks from the outside. Inside, though, could be a different matter.
Totally. Right. Up we go then, I suppose.
Right. Since when do you not kill things? Like, just out of curiosity, like, is that gonna be a constant thing? Like, do we have to worry about that now?
Since when don't you flirt with things? Back in the game.
Excuse me, I have some standards. Excuse me, I have some standards. That's why I've never flirted with you. Now let's go.
I'm going up.
I have to
Tarek
have
just
some-
blinks heavily.
That's why I've never hit on you, Fiend, because I have standards.
I'm walking.
Right, you only named your mushroom child after me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm running.
And you're trying to steal him.
I'm running. I don't give a fuck.
We've
Okay.
already had a kid together.
Well, you
Strange is
better
very
say,
far
child
ahead of
support
us. We
then.
can probably catch up.
As Fiend and Feral are continuing to bicker, Mr. Strange, having enough of this shit, trudges forward with Ramira.
Tarek's also going.
So Mr. Strange, you kind of take your hand on two of these big, long metal loops at the front of these double set doors that kind of connected to this tableau in the front of this temple. Open up, very heavy, not locked. As you step inside the 10-foot thick outer walls, the temple's central space seems to be a study in conveying the celestial majesty of this place, lined with a double row of squared off pillars and tomb-like structures aligned the central part of this temple. Its northwest end seems to be dominated by a vaulted dome set with stained glass showing depictions of Gloomwing and this angelic figure's valor and mercy during the Divine War. These skylight windows suffuse the whole of the sanctuary with tinted light throughout the night. It's a strange sort of magical aberration, or what's the word I'm looking for? Magical illumination that kind of comes down and gives the place kind of a dim light all around. And as you're looking throughout the rest of the sanctuary, particularly near at the far end, you see that a dais holds a wide stone altar, behind which seems to stand a 30-foot tall statue of this angelic figure, wings unfurled, depicted with flowing robes draped over their armor. They seem to be holding a spear in one hand and the other outstretched in welcoming mercy. And their face shows the sorrow of the Redeemer for the lives that they were probably forced to take during this divine war with the Titans and the Asgardians and the Fae. The temple's two other wings that you saw before seem to be behind interior stone walls on either side of the sanctuary, each set with large, heavily carved wooden doors. And that's kind of what you see in this vast, sort of big central part of the temple. See a few pillars, a few rectangular stone-like objects that kind of resemble tombs, it looks like, kind of in row 3 over here, 3 over there. You're a bit far away to kind of see exactly what the image is on top of it. And then at the very far end of the temple and kind of this platform, this 3-pronged platform, is this just angelic figure with wings sprawled out. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm making faces because right now it's the only way I can express things. I gonna use my special divine sense to and also take a look around, make sure ain't nothing sus in the temple, because I'd really hate to die in a temple with all this tension built up. This would suck.
Are you saying tension from you not wanting to die, or tension between Strange and Ramira?
Listen,
Because
I
all
will
she
not
said,
die with "Take me to church" in my head.
Here's your cake. Would you like to eat it?
but Hosier is a fey creature. It is only right that he take you out.
Yeah, that's fair.
He brought you into this world, and he can take you out the same way.
I want
I
to
love
just
this party.
clip that and send it to like Hosier on Twitter and be like, "Here you go."
So, as far as I know about Divine Sense it gives you a ping. Obviously, if you can see something is undead, you can see it right in front of you. That gives you like, oh, that's undead. But behind walls and things, I think it gets a little muffled. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I think it can only go like if Jade, you're muted.
I can't see things if they're behind, like successfully behind cover.
Mhm.
So if they're behind cover, you know, if like that Hosier temple ghost is behind cover, I'll be able to see. Okay, you know.
Yeah, so Divine Sense is more of like in front of you kind of ping.
Yeah. You know, just in case if I don't see anything, because you know, I don't see a lot of things these days. It's so strange, you know. It's like.
Before when you were in the farmland, like the trees are kind of more open spaces, not necessarily behind anything, but here being in the structure, many thick stone walls, many rooms separated from you. You kind of once again kind of ping on that radar and you just kind of look around.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing pings directly in front of you in this large sanctuary space, which means that you can probably feel safe. At least there's no invisible things creeping around, anything like that. But as far as trying to keep your mind at ease about what could be behind certain doors, inside certain objects, that unfortunately doesn't seem to ping for you.
Okay. In that case, I'll just slowly move forward, taking a look around. A little tense, but you know. Tense isn't I'm scared something might stab me. Not tense isn't, oh my gosh, my neck. Twilight, No, I don't want to die.
Maybe a perception check.
For both kinds of tension.
Make a what?
Perception check.
Oh. That's really good. Oh, that's dirty 20.
Okay, so as you're kind of stepping through, sort of getting into the middle part of the sanctuary here, that dim light kind of illuminating, in dim light, most of the central area through stained glass. So as you're looking at the walls, the tiles, the granite, the stonework, it's all kind of illuminated by various colors of blues and reds and greens and yellows from the stained glass above. Kind of a very spooky but very beautiful kind of coloration that kind of fills up this angelic room. But as you kind of going through the middle part of the room, you see those big heavy doors, one to your right, one to your left, leading to those two wings of the building that you saw outside. As you get closer to these two rows of crypts, tombs, you kind of look over top and you're able to get a closer look at the iconography, the figures that are kind of chiseled away into the stone on top of them. And what they look like are a series of owl folk beings draped in various robes and armor sets, with hands kind of crossed over, one like this with fists kind of held, don't appear to be holding a sword or any kind of weapon of sorts like that, but they're all various different details in their fur, obviously all just kind of gray stone. You can't depict any coloration of the fur, but obviously every single one of these owls have various sets of armor on top of their heads and different styles of beaks, various details in the way the fur sets on top of their faces. Kind of can see that there would be different colorations depicted if you saw these things for real in person, but with no swords that are seen like this. But you do notice every fist of these angelic owl warriors seem to have brass knuckles etched into the fingers of their fists.
Huh. Okay. Nice.
Does Sir Strange know Celestial?
No, but hey.
Do you, Strange? Do you know Celestial?
No, but I know someone that might speak Celestial.
I taught you so last time we were together.
알았어요. 저는 제이드입니다. Is Ramira nearby?
I couldn't love you more in this moment. Oh, jeezy crazy.
Ramira, are you nearby?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You away?
Yeah, she'll come over if you want.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, having been taught a couple things, but not fully understanding what celestial means, I'll be like, hey, Ramira, you know, stop looking at me.
Why are you being she goes, why are you being so weird? And she walks over and looks at whatever you're looking at and starts reading.
Okay.
In her mind palace.
Knowing celestial.
Yes.
There is an engraving at the foot of these tunes. They kind of all signify the same sort of paragraph in uncertain terms, saying, "Here lies the proud, loyal followers of the Shards of Dawn.
Ooh.
Long live the eternal fallen."
Interesting. 알았어요. 이거는
Yeah.
she starts reading it off, and then explains exactly what she just read. That's the translation. They're owls?
Yeah, the faces are of owl folk in various depictions. Tales.
Do owl folk live in the Feywild? Would I know? Is this their...
Owl folk necessarily. It's possible. Owl folk, I think, are more akin to Plane of the Wind, where a Cockra come from. But
I think the better question is, having been in this area before as a child, I would know that this temple is fairly new, correct?
So yes,
Like,
this would have been, so at the time of your sort of, not coronation necessarily, but at the time of the end of the Titan battle, which they've just decided to call a divine war in this sense, because it brought so many different Denzians over to help them defeat these Titans that Loki had released onto the world as guardians, Fae, Celestials from the upper planes and all around.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, what was the name? What was their name? Like the dictation of it again?
The group, these are said. Here lies the devout followers of the Shards of Dawn. Long live the fallen. But yeah, so owl folk, basically, yeah, I think more or less they originate from the plane of wind. But like most races, you'd find a few small patches in the Feywild, although it's slightly more rare.
Okay. So is it fair to say that when the war ended, a lot of Celestials, a lot of those who helped in this war stayed behind in the Feywild?
Yeah, so their ancestral ties to the Feywild, but they've kind of, as time has gone on, obviously they've pocketed different parts of civilization, the plane of wind, and a little bit rarer in Faerun, but their kind of ancestral ties do come from the Feywild.
Okay. In this case, would seem that, is there anything nearby that I can see that I can interact with, maybe I'm trying to find words, but it's very difficult for me.
Trying to interact with something on the...
Can you describe what the nearest surroundings are again? I'm having trouble remembering.
So you've got two sets of doors off to the right and left of the sanctuary that seemingly go off into those other wings of the building. At the
Okay.
far end of the sanctuary, you've got this very illustrious statue of this angelic figure with the wings furled out, and various iconography over there. And then
Okay.
the 3 tombs on one side, the 3 tombs on the other, and the stained glass window on top.
Okay, so I guess the question I was looking for, has there anything that looked nearby that looks like it was tampered with? You know, knowing that Glooming was making their way here, was anything, you know?
There you go. Make me a perception check.
Ow.
Rhaenyra.
Oof. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm fine. Okay. Is there anything? Can I do like an Arcana check or maybe a history check to see if I know anything about the Shards of Dawn? Since like maybe there's any like celestial shenaniganery that I could like get into.
Yeah, make me a history check. The 3 of you, by the way, Fiend, Tarek, Farrell, at this point, you would have rolled in from the outside, still kind of bickering with each other as you go in.
Tarek's just ignoring
Oh no!
it.
Like
I
as soon as
didn't
we
do
get to the temple, I'm putting down Mini Fiend and letting them walk and just go.
I
Fiend, if you touch him, I swear.
Sorry, Rhaenyra, 9?
I suck.
Yeah, you know, you've got obviously a lot of relation with Saloon, moon goddess, and a lot of things connected with her. You know of Ananita through Tarek about the sort of upper planes angelic figure who's kind of in charge of like balancing not the universe necessarily, but like all walks of life. Like she's kind of the alpha and the omega, helps keep everything in perfect balance and alignment, not letting things get too chaotic and not too crazy. But other than that, this figure does not look familiar to you.
Okay.
So strange.
I got a 17.
17. Looking around, you obviously look at the tombs here to see if there's been any evidence of tampering. Looking around, though, you do. It's hard to place, but you do kind of notice that for such for a building that seemingly feels like it's been abandoned for possibly decades.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of looking around the tomb and on the walls, and you kind of just put your finger down on one of the tombs, and you should expect like your finger to be black with dust, but there just seems to be a tiny thin layer of dust. And you kind of look over to the walls and kind of put your hand towards it, and again, thin layer of dust. Strange for something that seemingly looks like it's been abandoned for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And then Zavia did say something. This is straight. I'll talk to you as I'm touching the dust.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zavia did say something that, like, ever since that the temple was sort of a thing, which implied that it was fairly recent that bad things or strange things started occurring. I don't know. What do you think, Rhaenyra?
You're gonna have to repeat that last part.
It's okay. Zavia, the lady that we mentioned before, you know, the one with the dog.
Yes.
Like the only other person alive in this town.
With the gnarled hands.
Yeah. She had mentioned earlier before that ever since like the temple was a thing, which implied that it was fairly recently only this temple's erected, and this place doesn't appear to be as ancient as it looks, and just basically showing the dust doesn't appear that at all old.
Right. It is peculiar, isn't it? You don't remember anything about the shards, do you? It feels kind of odd.
Shards? No.
Such a temple for maybe something that wasn't as particularly impactful.
Oh, actually, let me think on that. Hey, Kevin, did the Feywild? I didn't know the Feywild. Did the Feywild worship like?
Make a history check.
Or the Fallen? It seemed like when I read the depiction.
The Transformers movie is this?
Because I mean, I don't know much about the Fae, but I didn't think the Fae really worshipped the dead, which is.
Okay, that wasn't not a roll. That's a 17 again.
Ooh.
17.
10 plus my 7.
So, yeah, the Fae don't necessarily pray to any sort of god necessarily. The Archfae, some of them have a pompous nature about them where they consider them kind of the gods that people pray to, as many people submit to them as patrons, things of that nature. The Tree of Infinity obviously being a very deep religious iconography to most of the Fae. If there is a god to pray to, that is probably it. Angels, celestials, upper planes, Denzians, not really something that the Fae would necessarily pray to, but clearly from all the iconography and all of the things you're seeing, this angelic figure and seemingly Gloomwing were an essential part of this divine war, this battle that happened with these titans, turned the tide.
That's kind of how my mom didn't. It's not how my dad met my mom. I'm assuming you relayed all this information to me. I realize.
Yeah,
Sorry, my brain is working faster than my mouth. That's odd. I wonder how they petitioned for that kind of help. Years ago, my mom met my dad and made many a mistake during a war. My parents are war criminals. This is not in character. This is me joking around.
Wow, that's a lot.
Were the owl folk tombs or statues?
Tombs.
When Fiend finally makes it to the rest of the party, he goes, "Right, this isn't old."
You want to crack open a cold one with the skull?
I want to crack open a cold one. Yes.
I also like to crack.
So just so you know, that the temple itself looks old. Like all of this looks old and ancient. Just that the dust level in here seemingly does not fit for a building that supposedly has been abandoned for some time.
Right. So there must be worshippers of some kind that have been cleaning this place behind closed doors.
There's two doors, yeah.
Metaphorically speaking.
So is the thin layer of dust just over everything in general, including the floor?
Yeah.
Can I see if I can look for footprints that don't belong to any of us, where they might lead? Perhaps?
Make a investigation perception.
I would prefer.
It's kind of a bit. It's like looking around, but looking for specific things. So
you're looking for chicken feet, not footprints.
Yeah, chicken feet.
So is that perception or investigation?
You choose.
I will definitely take investigation then. Investigation, because that's +2. So that's a total of 18, because I rolled a 16.
18. So putting your eyes downward, just being being distracted by the grand beauty of this iconography in this cathedral, this sanctuary of sorts. Finally starting to put your attention below, and it's still really dim light. And with all the red and blue and green light kind of being beamed down from the stained glass above, it's kind of hard to make out at first. But then as you kind of get closer down, you see a set of footprints that look like a little bit of small boot prints kind of going around, and then a very big set of talons, bird feet, walking around.
Did the two sets of footprints follow the same path, or do they go?
Seemingly the footprints go towards the statue, to the door on your right, and to the door on your left.
Left or right? Which one was the one that Strange Ramiro went to?
They haven't gone to either of them. They've been in
Oh.
the middle of the
On
sanctuary
one
this whole
side,
time.
there's a goblin that only tells the truth, and on the other side, there's one
yeah.
that only tells lies.
So both sets of footprints go to both doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pick a door. I'll pick the other door.
I'll take the right then, I guess.
I take the left.
All right.
Am I to understand we're just separating for no?
I'm right here. I'm just gonna shove the door open.
I won't be going far.
Listen, Farrell, I love you so much, but the last times we've separated, it's on your good
just opening the
conscience.
door, I'm just
That
opening the door,
didn't
just doing
necessarily
it. Touch.
happen, gotta be honest.
Touch.
Jared, just go open the other door as well.
Come on.
Is there a lock on these doors?
Fiend standing behind Ramir. Immaturity.
Okay.
If you touch, I swear.
She looks up to him just a little bit because he is taller than her, and then she puts her finger on his nose to boop him. It's gonna take some getting used to, but you've got to stop. Stop it.
I'm just gonna look over at Terry. On 3 then. 3, 2, 1. Shove open the door.
Jared doesn't even wait. He just opens.
All right. So as the two of you go right and left into the other wings of the sanctuary, we'll start with Farrell.
Oh.
So as you kind of go through your double set of doors, you notice that this temple's southeast wing houses a library of sacred and historic texts. Make me an investigation check.
Investigation. I can do that. All right, please be decent. Oh, okay. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22, my good DM.
Okay. Looking through this room, you notice that the interior walls are lined with 6 tall bookcases, each seemingly holding texts dating back many centuries, even before when the Divine War supposedly happened. The bookcase is holding this small but well-preserved collection. The center of the room seemingly has 3 long tables, scattering of chairs that once served as a scriptorium and study space for visiting scholars and copyists. You notice that there is a stack of books and scrolls on the central table next to an oil lamp that shows the signs of being recently dusted off and lit.
I would like to approach the table with the scrolls.
Okay. Make me a religion check.
Oh. God, I don't even know what my religion is. +2. Okay. I'm not the most religious person in the world. But apparently Farrell is a little bit knowledgeable because that's a 19 + 2, so 21.
Your rolls are all too high. Okay.
Rolls on the roll. I guess I maybe her mom was maybe a little more religious than she is. Maybe that's what it is.
So it's more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a religious family to some extent. You might not know what the names are referenced to necessarily, but you can tell when you're reading the Bible as opposed to reading a car manual. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So looking at these scrolls and sort of going through them, unfurling them, seeing what the other pile of books are, these texts seem to reveal that all these works seem to all be concerned with the theoretical origins of gods and other divine powers, and particularly with the lore of the Titans and the rites of their followers. Looking through, you can tell that this library of this temple contains a wealth of arcane religious and historical knowledge. It'll take you a little bit of time to get through it all if you want, but if you wanted to pick a book to focus on, go through some things, it'd take you a while to get through it all.
Right.
But
what are these?
There's a lot of knowledge in here.
It's a book, yes?
There's a pile of a few books on the desk and a couple scrolls.
Okay. Are they all on the same subject, or do they seem different?
They're all on various things.
Okay. I want to at least quickly I'm going to take the time to look through these when I have the time, but I quickly want to just scan through and maybe see if I can get an idea of what
the subjects are.
Yeah, and also kind of what Gloomwing may have been looking for. Like if there was something specific, if they were looking for the location of more Titan weapons. Like I just want to see maybe if he bookmarked something or if he left a page open to something. I want to see if I can find what he was looking for.
Okay.
If a scroll is unfurled or...
Yeah, make me another religion check.
Okay, it's only a +2. Oh, that's not as good. That's a 14.
So the books that are on the desk currently, subjects include the history of the divine war, accounts on the origins and deeds of the gods, a little bit on the history of Gloomwing during this time, the history of the events leading up to the Titan spawn emerging, Loki's dealings in releasing these, the coming together of various forces and races to battle them, and a little bit of knowledge on a few areas nearby, some on the effects on on the geography after the Divine War in the first few decades of the aftermath, surveys of the flora and fauna of the Kelder Mountains there nearby, including what seemingly is referred to as Titan spawn, and a little bit of information on a couple Titan relics, some you know of, a couple that you've never heard of. But that's about it.
Okay. The last thing I want to look for before I take my time with consuming more of this knowledge, I will take special interest in reading about the history of Gloomwing, because I would like to get to know my enemy a little more than what I thought I did. Are there any titles that I may be able to discern are missing? Like anything I think should be here that seems to have been taken? Like if it's numbered and trilogy wise, if there's anything missing. Just
as
based
you
off titles and things.
Right. As you kind of start to study these texts and kind of going through them, starting to survey this information, we're going to switch over to Tarek, going into this other part of the sanctuary. Open up this door, go inside, and you see what looks like a kitchen. A large fireplace stands against one wall of this room, serving as the old temple's probably one permanent source of heat. Only ashes and cobwebs seem to fill it now. You notice, make me a perception check.
That is never mind. 15. I always go to check it every time. Flat roll every time.
15. So you notice a side table with a clay wash basin stands next to the hearth, and a longer table that looks like maybe it was once used for food preparation is in between the kitchen's two windows, and a stone stairway that seemingly leads down.
Kind of Tarek will kind of
also finally another wooden door against one of the walls of the kitchen leading somewhere else.
Okay. Tarek will kind of call back to the others. Seems to be some sort of kitchen area in here. There's a stairwell leading down and a door to another room. I'm going to check out the door. kind of letting everyone know what he's
I'm
doing.
gonna walk into the doorway so I can keep eyeballs on Tarek.
I'll just give a nod and make my way over to the other door. I'll try and open it.
You go to open the door, and the handle seems to turn about a quarter of the way, then stop.
Can
I
try and...
I can
Is
help you.
it locked?
It doesn't it's weird. The feeling that you got wasn't that it was like you wouldn't have been able to turn the handle if it was locked.
Oh.
You immediately turned it like a third of the way and it stopped forcefully.
Can I try and force it open?
Make a strength check.
Just knock politely.
Sounds like somebody's on the other side.
Just straight strength check.
Straight.
Don't you close that door, Benny. Don't you close that door.
It's only a 13.
You feel the door open slightly and something.
So it's jammed.
Is it the farmer? I swear to God.
You know, it's not that it's jammed. You kind of meant the door open and then something slammed against it to hold it closed.
Siblings, like when you're running.
I was just thinking that.
And you slam the door behind you, and they push against it, or you push against it, and they slam it back.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Tarek?
So strange?
Oh, I'll let. So.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Tarek, is it locked?
He'll just shake his head.
So it is locked. Wink.
So strange.
How far am I away from this? Just like a good distance?
The two of you were kind of in the middle, so the doors would be like kind of, a good 20 feet on either side from you. Like you can easily hear them kind of talking as Ramira kind of appears in the kitchen, like, everything all right there, Tarek?
She did the winking part, by the way, Tarek, of like not actually saying wink, but she's like, oh, so it is locked.
Wink out loud.
Yeah, she says wink out loud. She pulls a Griffin McElroy and says wink out loud.
Wink. Sir Strange.
I'm gonna walk over to Tarek and Ramira, and I'm gonna be like, just look at them. Do I know the gist? I'm like, do I know the gist of what's going on?
So she's in the doorway watching.
In the doorway, I'm on the
from
other side of
afar.
the room.
And as you go to walk through the doorway, she like shimmies out of it. The door is locked. Wink.
Right.
Who keeps saying wink?
Oh, I understand. Don't worry, I'm gonna make one of my charismatic paladin days.
Oh.
I'm gonna go up to the door. I'm gonna say, "Hey, Tarek, is the door locked?"
Seems to be.
Oh, that's terrible. It'd be a shame if I had to open this.
I'm gonna try and budge it open again. As strange as mid-sentence.
So you're just gonna try to
do it?
Hit it again.
Help me.
So are you budging it again with your shoulder,
Yes.
or are you hitting it with the hammer?
Thematically, he's kind of like using the hammer to kind of like
Okay, but your
budge
shoulder.
against it, but he's
Okay.
shoulder budging it. Yeah.
Another strength check.
Oh, that's a bit better. That is 17 plus 2, 19.
All right. So you open it about a quarter of the way, suddenly stops. Ramira comes in. Is everything all right? Yeah, the door is locked. Everyone kind of reading between the lines. Sir Strange kind of walking in, reading everyone's face. Something's a little off. And as Sir Strange says that, Tark just goes, bam! One big shove with the shoulder with Molnir. The door cracks inward. Bits of wood fly all over the place. And you hear this loud, this sort of loud pain scream as bits of wood are kind of covering the body of this short, stocky figure.
Can I see who it is?
You have to pull off the
Yeah, I'll
bits
do
of
that.
wood.
I'll just
pull off the bits of the door frame off of this
Ready?
short, stubby, mutated, tumor-ridden, skinned satyr with just like a disfigurement all over his face and boils on his neck and has a few extra fingers. It's peace, don't hurt me! And with that, we're gonna end the session a little bit early today.
I'm still in the library reading. I have nothing. I have no idea what's happening.
Please don't hurt me. Meanwhile,
Oh no!
No,
Oh no!
They're awful quiet.
And Farrell, you just hear off the side, please don't hurt me!
The book just...
Well, with that, everybody, we're going to end it a little bit early today, just to allow everyone to kind of regain their spell slots. But yeah, figured that'd be a good way to get a good little cliffhanger in there. Lots of lore dropping today. Easily got over my stupid battle encounter, so good job there. But yeah, guys, we will pick this up hopefully next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, as you continue to explore the creepy sanctuary of the first angel. But yeah, thank you all so much as for anyone that shows up to our wacky, wild, and crazy stories each and every week. Love you all very much. You are all amazing. Please come back tomorrow for the very eagerly awaited session 2 of Wild Beyond the Witchlight with our good pals Quincy's Tavern, Jennings Brower, Shane, Wally, and Jackie Lane Jan. But that's gonna do it for us here over at the BTR Realm.
Can I say one thing? Can I
Yes.
do one promo real quickly?
One plug? You want to plug something? Plug it in. Plug it in.
This coming Saturday, November 13th, the second annual Rolling for Charity Committee stream for our 24-hour stream where we do 24 hours of TTRPGs, Jackbox, etc. We are back on Saturday for another 24 hours to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. Again, you can see me behind the screen where I will be doing Jordy Rose's job of being tech, and Jordy Rose will actually be in our DM Relent as the representative from this channel. You can see the lovely Saf, who's also participating, and the lovely Too Hard the Bard, as we start very early on November 13th, go 24 hours, and then end with a lovely DM Roulette and a closing ceremony by the committee. So we are raising more money for Doctors Without Borders. We're playing Kids on Broomsticks, Jackbox. We're doing two different games of D&D. We're playing Mothership. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
And where can you find that, Ivy?
It's going to be over on The Show Is a Mimic. We're very excited.
Awesome. You guys did such a great job last year and just keep all that good mojo rolling.
Raised 7 times what we wanted to last year. So this year we're setting our bar a little bit higher. We'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah, guys,
giveaways
go
from
check
D&D
that
Beyond.
out.
I also believe that we just raided Quincy's Tavern.
Yes, nice.
Oh,
We're out, I think.
Oh, yeah. Wait, are we still going? Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, hold on.
Weird. You're fine, love.
It ended right on the end of Ivy's thing, so it worked out.
I have a wonderful
Fuck you
time.
guys. Bye.